Chapter 219. Chapter 219, Can't Give Up Halfway. Qin Feng sat on the large bed, and Liu Chun stood nervously to the side. The atmosphere instantly became awkward. Qin Feng, it's pretty cold up here on the mountain at night. When you sleep on the ground later, use this blanket behind the bed. Don't see a cold. Liu Chun suddenly smiled sweetly at Qin Feng. Qin Feng had a look of suspicion. Chun, why would I sleep on the ground? I'm sleeping on the bed tonight. Liu Chen's smile froze. She and Qin Feng were just pretending to be a couple. How could she possibly sleep on the same bed as Qin Feng? Thus, one person had to sleep on the ground tonight. Liu Chen thought that as a woman, her body had to be more fragile, so she'd have Qin Feng sleep on the ground. In the end, this guy acted cluelessly and shamelessly. Liu Chen sat angrily beside Qin Feng and glared at him. Qin Feng, if you don't sleep on the ground, don't tell me you want me to sleep on the ground? Are you not a man? Qin Feng and Liu Chen were sitting so close together that Qin Feng could clearly smell her fragrant body. Also, since Liu Chen was nervous, a fair amount of fragrant sweat also poured out of her. Some of her hair stuck to her head, and she was extremely charming. Qin Feng's gaze unconsciously fell onto Liu Chen's body. Under the yellow light, her refined, beautiful face was soft and emitted an entrancing radiance. Her light purple, form-fitting dress emphasized the full curves of her chest, and her long, beautiful legs were extremely alluring. They seemed to emit a light fragrance that drifted over, making one want to go up and kiss them a couple of times. Previously, Qin Feng never thought that he would have the opportunity to sleep under the same roof as Liu Chen. Now that they sat so closely together on one large bed, he felt a flame ignite in his abdomen, and the gaze that he used to look at Liu Chen changed slightly. I'm asking you something, are you a man or not? When she saw that Qin Feng was taking a long time to respond, Liu Chen asked her question again with a huff. Under such an ambiguous atmosphere, these words incited a different meaning for Qin Feng. He suddenly pressed Liu Chen onto the bed and looked at her with an evil smile. You'll find out in a bit whether or not this young master is a man or not. He pressed Liu Chen down, raised the bottom of her dress to the middle of her waist, hugged her waist, and kissed her snow-white neck. Liu Chen was shocked by Qin Feng's sudden actions. She stared stupidly at Qin Feng with wide-eyed shock and even forgot to resist. In the moment of distraction, Qin Feng felt up her body. Qin Feng, what are you doing? Let go of me. After Liu Chen regained her senses, she suddenly shouted. With a bang, the room door was suddenly shoved open. Mother Li ran into the room holding a bag. Qin, what's wrong? After speaking, Mother Li felt that her words were superfluous. She saw Qin Feng pressing down her daughter and felt a wave of regret. She was disrupting little Qin and her daughter's proper business. Ma, hurry up and save me. Mother Li's sudden entrance made Qin Feng jump in fright. Liu Chen grabbed the opportunity to slip out and run to her mother's side. She hugged her mother's arm and had a frightened and doubtful expression. Io, you're so dramatic, you little brat. Ma was wrong, okay? Ma shouldn't have burst in and disturbed you too. Mother Li thought her daughter was pretending because she was shy. She raised the bag in her arms and smiled. Right, Ma came here to bring this to you guys. Doesn't little Qin like this? You'll be sure to look good wearing this later. All right, Ma's leaving. Don't worry, this time no one else will be interrupting you too. Mother Li placed the bag in her hand on the table and smiled meaningfully at her daughter before hurriedly running out of the room. Liu Chen stood there in a daze, and she wondered if this mother really gave birth to her. Qin Feng was already prepared to force himself on her, yet her mom brought in the newly bought lingerie and encouraged Qin Feng to continue. Qin Feng, don't come over. If you mess around tonight, I swear I'll kill you. Qin Feng already came back to his senses. He suppressed the fire within him and stalked towards Liu Chen. Liu Chen immediately picked up a pair of scissors from the desk and stared at Qin Feng with alarm. Qin Feng laughed as he shook his head. He ignored Liu Chen's movements, arrived at the desk, and took out the pink undergarments from the bag. At the time, because there were a lot of people in the store, Qin Feng didn't look closely at the outfit. Now that he considered it from up close, He found that the outfit was too fiery. If Liu Chen really wore it, Qin Feng would definitely get a nosebleed. You pervert, put that away. Don't get any ideas. I won't wear that for you even if I died. Liu Chen was so angry that she gnashed her teeth as she weighed Qin Feng's actions. She knew Qin Feng was a huge pervert. How could she be so muddle-headed and bring this pervert home? General Manager Li, put the scissors down. I was just playing around with you at first. Qin Feng became stern. Liu Chen didn't immediately forego her alarm. She said coldly, then sleep on the floor tonight? Then hold the scissors and stand by the door the whole night. Qin Feng's lips curled, and he already began removing his clothes. Hey, why are you taking off your clothes? Don't think I'm just trying to scare you. I really will kill you. Liu Chen blanched at the sight of Qin Feng sitting on the bed leisurely beginning to remove his clothes. Big sister, you're sleeping without removing your clothes? Qin Feng rolled his eyes at Liu Chen. What did you call me? Big sister? I'm not that old. I'm only 25 this year, okay? Liu Chen was unbearably angered by Qin Feng calling her big sister, and she forgot about Qin Feng's immoral behavior. So what if you're 25? Nowadays, if girls don't know how to take care of themselves, a 20-year-old can look like a 40-year-old, and if a 40-year-old takes care of herself, she can look as fresh as a 20-year-old. Qin Feng said with curled lips, either way, you look like an old, 35-year-old woman. Forcing oneself on a woman would bring her physical and mental pain. Saying a woman was old would inflict heavy damage on her mind and spirit. After hearing Qin Feng say she looked like an old, 35-year-old woman, she immediately exploded and even forgot the potential threat Qin Feng posed to her. Qin Feng, you actually said I look like a 35-year-old woman? I'll kill you. Liu Chen rushed forward with the scissors in hand and looked like she wanted to kill Qin Feng right then herself. The corner of Qin Feng's lips lifted into a smile that expressed that he had gotten his way. Liu Chen had just gotten onto the bed when he swept her tightly into his embrace and deftly wrested the scissors out of her hand. General Manager Li, your body smells so good. Qin Feng sniffed from Liu Chen's lower abdomen to her nose. Liu Chen only felt a gust of hot air coming from Qin Feng's mouth. Her whole body IED, and she immediately fell limp. Qin Feng, you horrible person. Let go of me. Liu Chen had no strength to struggle, and she could only use words to threaten Qin Feng. Qin Feng's expression suddenly changed. He released Liu Chen's body and said with seriousness, General Manager Li, I won't force you, but I also don't have the habit of sleeping on the ground, so I hope you don't force me as well. After seeing that Qin Feng released her and had a look of propriety, Liu Chen also quickly calmed down. But we can't possibly sleep on the same bed. We certainly have to sleep on the same bed, and we have to cause a ruckus as well, Qin Feng suddenly said. Up until now, he still hadn't received the system's notification, so the quest regarding Liu Chen's marriage and treaty headaches had not been completed. This quest depended on Mother Li's attitude. It was clear that Mother Li still didn't completely believe in the relationship between him and Liu Chen. What do you mean? Liu Chen hugged her chest and shrank into the corner as she looked at Qin Feng with alarm. If my guess is correct, Auntie hasn't left. She's currently squatting outside the door and listening to the sounds coming from this room, Qin Feng said with a lowered voice. Liu Chen's expression changed slightly. At this time, her thoughts returned to the task at hand. She looked at Qin Feng coldly and said, Then what should we do? Qin Feng said nothing. He suddenly turned the room's light off and swept Liu Chen tightly into his embrace. Liu Chen jumped in shock and immediately yelped. However, she hadn't yelled twice when she stopped and felt a gust of warmth pass towards her ear. Manager Li, look at the window. Auntie's shadow is really clear, isn't it? Liu Chen immediately looked towards the window. When the lights were on, it wasn't evident, but now that the lights were off, she could clearly see Mother Li's shadow from the moonlight on the window. Is this really my birth mother? I really give up. After realizing why Qin Feng turned off the lights, she calmed down. However, once she thought of her mother hiding by the window and listening to the sounds inside the room, she didn't know what to say. Qin Feng, hurry and let go of me. Once she realized that Qin Feng was still hugging her, Liu Chun immediately began to struggle. Qin Feng was in no hurry to let go. He blew another breath of hot air into her ear. I can't let go yet. Auntie is still monitoring us. She isn't completely convinced of our relationship, so you have to pretend to shout. Liu Chen turned completely red from the hot air Qin Feng was blowing into her ear. She said lowly, shout what? Love-making sounds. Qin Feng said helplessly. Liu Chen's face darkened. She would rather die than make love-making sounds in front of Qin Feng. That's impossible. Liu Chen immediately refused and said coldly, plus, I don't know how to shout. No way. You've never had a boyfriend? You've never done it? Qin Feng asked. Liu Chen's neck was already red. She said unhappily, no. And other than my dad. You're the first man who has hugged me, you stinking brat. Hurry up and let go of me. But if you don't shout, Auntie won't believe us. We'd have wasted half a day's effort for nothing. Qin Feng wouldn't just give up. Since he came to Qingshui town this time, he had to complete Liu Chen's quest before going home. In actuality, Liu Chen didn't want to give up halfway. Motherly forcing her to get married was currently her largest headache. Then what should we do? Liu Chen asked helplessly. Though one has never eaten pork, they must have seen a pork run. Pretend to shout twice. Qin Feng spoke while beginning to use his legs to shake the bed. This bed was an old-styled metal spring bed. Just by moving slightly, squeaks would form. At this time, Qin Feng used his strength to step on the bed, and the metal bed made unceasing squeaking noises. Qin Feng, what are you doing? Liu Chun jumped in shock. Coordinating with you. If the bed doesn't make noises, how could we express how intense our fighting is? Qin Feng smiled evilly. Liu Chen's charming face was about to drip sweat. She was about to go crazy. After hearing the metal bed's noises get louder and louder, she was at her wit's end. She could only clear her throat and yell suddenly. That's too soft. You're insulting my abilities. Qin Feng said with dissatisfaction. Liu Chen glared at Qin Feng. This time, the sound was so loud she even scared herself. Qin Feng's expression darkened and he said coldly, Are you giving birth? Your shouts have no feeling whatsoever. Chapter 220. Chapter 220. You two have to spend it well. Liu Chun was about to cry. She harshly pinched Qin Feng's waist. Tonight she thought she might as well throw caution to the wind. Stinking brat, I'll let you off for tonight. After this situation passes, don't mention it to anyone. If you go around talking about it at work, I'll kill you for sure. Liu Chun first threatened Qin Feng before completely letting go. She then shouted continuously, and she learned quickly. She was filled with feeling and the sounds were great in voice and expression. While listening, Qin Feng couldn't take it. Ding. Congratulations host Qin Feng for completing the quest to help Liu Chen rid herself of marriage and treaty headaches. The system awards you 2,000 hedonist points. The system's announcement suddenly resounded in Qin Feng's head. He was extremely excited. This quest gained him 2,000 hedonist points, so he could choose more treasures. Since the quest was completed, this meant that Motherly completely believed in the relationship between Qin Feng and Liu Chen. Qin Feng also guessed that Motherly must have already left. He looked out the window, and the shadow had indeed disappeared. However, Liu Chen's shouts hadn't stopped, and the more she acted, the more intense it became. Qin Feng thought to himself, and in the end he didn't interrupt Liu Chen. He lay quietly on the bed and basked in the hot-blooded, passionate, and alluring nighttime song. A long while later, Qin Feng, why aren't you shaking the bed anymore? Liu Chen suddenly spoke. Are you tired? Hang in there for a bit longer. I've been yelling until my throat is hoarse, but I still haven't stopped. Annie already left, Qin Feng said helplessly. Liu Chen's shouting immediately ceased. She looked out the window and found that her mother really had left. Qin Feng, when did my mom leave? Liu Chen asked a bit awkwardly. She left a while ago. It's been at least 10 minutes. Qin Feng's lips curled. Stinking brat. You knew my mom left and you didn't tell me? Did you do it on purpose? Liu Chen was so angry that her face darkened. She pinched Qin Feng's waist several times. I told you, but you were shouting too loudly, and you looked to be really enjoying it. I thought you found a new hobby, so I didn't interrupt you, Qin Feng said seriously. Liu Chen felt extremely awkward and thought Qin Feng really did call her. At this time, she immediately pulled up a blanket and covered herself. She didn't remove her clothes and prepare to sleep. If my mom left, that means she completely believes in our relationship. Now we can sleep honestly. Don't talk to me anymore. Liu Chun had just laid down when she immediately sat up. She picked up a small wooden plank from the desk and placed it in the middle of the bed. Then, she glared coldly at Qin Feng and said, Qin Feng, this is the dividing line tonight. If you pass this line, then you're a beast. As she said this, Liu Chen lay back down and stuck her body to the edge of the bed, intentionally keeping a distance from Qin Feng. Qin Feng stared blankly at the small wooden plank for a good while and suddenly thought of a story from when he first became dissolute. If you pass this dividing line tonight, you're a beast. These words had a hidden meaning. If you don't pass this dividing line tonight, you're not even comparable to a beast. Qin Feng considered this carefully for a while. He felt that since he wasn't a beast, and wasn't uncomparable to a beast even more, if he had to choose between these two, he chose to be a beast. Suddenly, Qin Feng passed the line, pounced at Liu Chun, and hugged her tightly. He found that her body was soft and pliant. When he hugged her, she was warm and fragrant, so it was very comfortable. Qin Feng, you beast. Let go of me, you brute. Liu Chun was so shocked that she struggled with her arms and legs. General Manager Li, if I don't touch you, then I won't even be comparable to a beast. So you're making things difficult for me? Qin Feng spoke innocently as he kissed Liu Chen's neck. Liu Chen suddenly thought of the joke and was angered by Qin Feng. Are you crazy? Hurry and let go of me. I'll just get rid of the dividing line. Qin Feng only let go after this. He swore he wasn't actually trying to violate Liu Chen. He just really cared about his reputation. Qin Feng didn't bother Liu Chen again for the rest of the night. Initially, Liu Chen was a bit worried, but she slowly fell soundly asleep. The early morning sun shined through the window and right onto Liu Chen's face. She opened her sleepy eyes. It was a new and beautiful day. The awakened Liu Chen found that something was pressing down on her. She turned her head to look and jumped in fright. Last night, the two of them each slept with their own blanket, but Qin Feng kicked his blanket to the ground. And maybe because it was too cold at night, he made his way under Liu Chen's blanket. One of his legs was propped atop Liu Chen's thigh, and one hand tightly hugged Liu Chen's neck. Their faces were almost touching, and Liu Chen was so angry that she was about to explode. But before she could kick Qin Feng away, she heard a feeble voice pass out of Qin Feng's lips. Mommy, where did you go? Why aren't you coming to look for me? Liu Chen froze immediately, and an unnamed forlornness surged through her heart. It was her first time considering Qin Feng so closely. The sun shone on his face, and he was handsome and fair. He was still in a deep sleep and looked like a cute and mischievous child. The Qin Feng Liu Chen saw was always vulgar, improper, and careless, but the Qin Feng she saw now was weak, pure, and even made one want to pamper him. In the end, she retracted the lily-white hand she was going to use to slap Qin Feng in the face and lightly placed it on his shoulder. She even found a more comfortable position and let Qin Feng continue to sleep peacefully. After who knew how long, Liu Chen felt something damp tickling her lips. She opened her eyes again to see a handsome and refined face with an evil smile very close to her face. Qin Feng was already awake, and he was secretly kissing the lips of the dreaming Liu Chen. Ah, Qin Feng, you're shameless. Liu Chen pushed Qin Feng away. She woke up once earlier, found that Qin Feng was still sleeping, and kind-heartedly let him continue sleeping while leaning against her. Liu Chen slowly fell asleep as well, and didn't think that when she woke up again Qin Feng would secretly steal her first kiss. She finally understood a general truth. Pitiful people must have hateful traits. General Manager Li, why are you so excited? Though Qin Feng was caught secretly kissing her, he maintained a straight face and was unfazed. This clearly wasn't his first time doing something like this. You're even secretly kissing me while I'm sleeping. Qin Feng, Only a vile person like you would take advantage of someone when they are vulnerable. Liu Qin really regretted not kicking Qin Feng off the bed the first time she woke up. I didn't kiss you secretly. You said you wanted me to kiss you, Qin Feng said confidently. You're lying. How could I possibly let you kiss me? Stop dreaming. Liu Chan clenched her teeth with anger. She never met anyone more shameless than Qin Feng. If you don't believe me, then forget it. You were talking in your sleep. You wanted me to kiss you, and kiss you strongly. General Manager Li, you weren't having wet dreams in the morning, were you? Qin Feng grinned evilly. How could Li Yuqin believe Qin Feng's nonsense? She didn't even want to waste any words on someone as impossibly brazen as Qin Feng. She got out of bed to wash up first. After both people finished washing, Mother Li suddenly opened the room door and came in. When she saw Qin Feng and her blushing daughter, she said with a laugh, "You're both awake. Why don't you sleep more? You spent so much energy last night, you have to regain it." Liu Qin's face was red because Qin Feng made her angry earlier. However, once she heard her mother's words, her face became flushed with embarrassment. Ma, Qin Feng and I have to go back after breakfast. We still have things to do. We'll take some time to come see you next time. Liu Qin had enough for this trip, and she was in a hurry to get back and draw a clear boundary line with Qin Feng from here on out. Mother Li looked a bit unwilling to part with them. She nodded and said, "Chen, go to the kin and help your father serve the food. I'll say a couple things to little Qin." "Okay, I'll go first." Liu Chun responded to her mother's words, and when she left, she glared fiercely at Qin Feng. What she meant was for Qin Feng not to say anything crazy or she'd get him. "Little Qin, sit on the bed. Don't be polite with Auntie." After Liu Chun left, Mother Li and Qin Feng sat on the edge of the bed. Mother Li looked around the room and asked, "Little Qin, Qin Chun should have been very accommodating last night, right?" "Accommodating, very accommodating. That's good, that's good. You two didn't use contraceptives, right?" Mother Li continued to ask. Qin Feng thought for a bit and said, "No, they didn't use contraceptives last night because they didn't even do it." After Mother Li heard this, she felt reassured. She suddenly grabbed Qin Feng's hand and revealed a rare serious expression. She said earnestly, "Little Qin, do you think Auntie is loud with a violent temper, or a snob?" Mother Li laughed without waiting for Qin Feng's response. "You don't have to say it because I know that's the kind of person I am. Auntie and your uncle have been in Qingshui town our whole lives and farming is our source of livelihood. We gave birth to that girl Chunchen. She's sensible and obedient. Not a lot of people's children got into college, but that year Chunchen was the sole girl in the group that got into college. I can see how hardworking and diligent she is, and I know she's different from me. Her personality is more like her father's. She's kind and doesn't pursue money or power. She's a good, simple, and hardworking child. But whose parents don't hope their daughter could have a better life? Your uncle and I had difficult lives, so we don't want to see Chunchen follow in our footsteps. We can't give her an opulent life, but we hope she can marry into a good family and have this kind of life. You can dislike a snob like your auntie, I certainly wouldn't mind, but Chunchen is a good girl. If you truly love her, take good care of her. Though Auntie wants her to marry into a rich family, I hope she can truly be happy." As she spoke, Mother Li choked with sobs. Qin Feng saw that she no longer had the strong and domineering expression she did previously. She was just a caring mother that worried about her daughter. Everyone has an outer and inner side. The exterior is for everyone, while the interior is only revealed before the select few that one truly trusts. How pitiful is a parent's heart. Little Qin, can you understand Annie? I love that girl Qinchin too much. Mother Li cried. She let go and cried until her sobs fell silent. Qin Feng hadn't seen his own mother since he was really young, and he suddenly saw deep motherly love in Mother Li. "Auntie, don't worry, Qinchin will definitely be very happy. A beautiful and capable girl like her is a treasure these days." Qin Feng's eyes were slightly red. He reached out and helped wipe the tears off Mother Li's face. Mother Li cried for a good while before her emotions stabilized. She stood suddenly and said with a smile, "Aya, I've made a fool of myself. I'm so old and I'm still crying. All right, Your words earlier made Annie feel reassured. I hope you can live happily and blessedly with Chun Chun. Let's go. Breakfast is ready. Let's eat. The atmosphere at breakfast was a bit heavy because everyone knew it was time to part. After the meal was over, Liu Chun hugged her parents with red eyes. After saying parting words, she walked out the door with Qin Feng. Chun Chun, little Qin, you have to live happily and come home often when you have time. After seeing Qin Feng had already started the car, Mother Li's eyes moistened as she yelled. Father Li was not good at expressing himself, but long after Qin Feng's car disappeared from sight, Father Li continued to sit on the large rock at the entrance. He smoked silently and unconsciously made the subtle motion of someone brushing their tears. Chapter 221. Chapter 221. Do you have a cold? Sky City, Su family mansion. In the middle of the spacious lobby, two groups of people sat separately, filling in the left and right sides. These two groups of people were members of Sky City's Su family and members of the capital's Wei family. Based off their serious expressions and the current cold atmosphere, the conversation between them was not going well. A middle-aged man sat in the uppermost part of a row on the left side. He was large, tall, and facial hair covered his face. From the exterior, he looked a bit like Li Kuei. He was called Wei Fengyan, and he was Wei Xiaolei's father. Miss Su, I personally came all the way from the capital to your home, so this should adequately express our Wei family's sincerity. This time, I came regarding my beloved son Wei Xiaolei's mysterious death. At the time, Miss Su just so happened to be racing at Coiled Snake Mountain, so if something happened, please give this old man any leads you have. If the leads are useful, the Wei family will naturally compensate your Su family. Wei Fengyan came to the Su house for one reason, to find out who killed his son and Williams. The person sitting on the uppermost seat on the right side was a dignified and virtuous woman. She was so beautiful she could topple cities and states, and her refined face didn't have too much makeup. Just natural, simple makeup was enough to make onlookers unable to peel their eyes away from her. Sky City's moniker for her as the #1 noble beauty was extremely apt. Not only was she as beautiful as an angel, her bearing and composure were even more enticing. She looked to be a girl of around 25, yet she had this calmness. When facing the incumbent head of the capital's Wei family, she didn't possess even a sliver of nervousness. A woman with both this kind of beauty and ability was extremely rare. Uncle Wei, I'm really sorry. I did indeed go to Coiled Snake Mountain to race for my own personal reasons that day, but after the race was over, I went straight back to Sky City. I really didn't know a murder occurred that day. Though I really want to help, I have no ability to do so. As Su Qiuyu spoke, a polite smile stayed on her face. Her gaze towards Wei Fengyan was neither servile nor overbearing, and she spoke indifferently. Wei Fengyan's face fell slightly because according to the news the Wei family got from their scout that went to Acropolis City's Coiled Snake Mountain previously, Su Qiuyu left really late that night. She only left after the other racers left. This Su Qiuyu was clearly lying. Miss Su, is there something you can't say? Wei Fengyan's voice became a bit more icy. He looked severely at Su Qiuyu. If I didn't have any leads reported back to me, I wouldn't have come to bother the Su family. Why must you hide something from me? Are you not going to give this old man some face? You should understand my pain from mourning for my son. Su Qiuyu really did lie. The moment she opened her mouth, the image of a man floated in her mind. It was Qin Feng. That night, she saw Qin Feng kill Wei Xiaolei and Williams with her own eyes. After that, she even gave Qin Feng the 100-year blood lotus. She lied because she cared about Qin Feng. Conversely, she already used Qin Feng, and she wasn't done using him, so she couldn't confess and turn him in. Uncle Wei, I'm just a little girl. Why would I lie to you? As Su Qiuyu spoke, her expression didn't change. Her pretty eyes calmly weighed Wei Fengyan. She said, I have nothing to hide. I really didn't see anything else that night. Otherwise, why wouldn't I do you this favor that would cost me very little, Uncle Wei? Su Qiuyu's attitude was as clear as before. She knew nothing. However, Wei Fengyan could tell she was hiding something. His gaze immediately turned cold. He tightly squeezed the wooden armrest of the chair, and with a sudden burst of strength, the armrest splintered into dust with a ka-cha. The row of people on Su Qiu-yu's side stood immediately and looked at the people across from them in alarm. Then, Wei Fengnian's people also stood in succession and glared at the Su family members. In an instant, the atmosphere ignited and seemed as if it would explode with one touch. Wei Fengnian didn't bring the Wei family members to the Su house to incite any discord. Though the Wei family was one of the 5 most influential families in the capital, since they were in Sky City, this was the Su family's territory. Wei Fengnian knew that a powerful dragon could not suppress a native serpent. However, he was this perturbed for a very important reason. His son Wei Xiaolei wasn't the only person that died on Coiled Snake Mountain. There was also Williams, a member of a family with special abilities who came from America as a guest of the Wei family. Williams was a well-known figure of the younger generation of the William family. He was only 24, yet he had special strength abilities. After discovering William's death, the elders of the William family were thunderously angry. They placed all the blame on the capital's Wei family, demanded that the Wei family find the murderer within 3 months, and also that they personally bring his corpse to the William family. Otherwise, the William family would send people to China and declare war against the Wei family until it was completely eradicated. The Wei family and the William family were large families, so if violence really broke out, it wouldn't be good for anyone. This was why Wei Fengnian placed such importance on the matter. Not only did he had to find who killed his son and take revenge, he also had to give the William family an explanation. Uncle Wei, I've already said all I could. Su Qiu-yu stood slowly, and her voice was as calm as ever as she said, if you're using this matter as an excuse to provoke our Su family, then I won't just sit and wah. Even if the Su family isn't comparable to the capital's Wei family, if the Wei family wants to oppose us in Sky City, it won't be pleasant for you either. Wei Fengnian expressed his opinion, and Su Qiu-yu expressed her opinion as well. Plus, Su Qiu-yu's attitude was even stronger. She directly put everything out in the open and claimed Wei Fengnian was intentionally coming to pick a fight. Wei Fengnian was so angry that he clenched his fists so hard they made popping noises. He only had to give the command, and the 2 sides would be swept into a bloodbath. However, Wei Fengnian had to clearly consider what kind of results would ensue. A while later, Wei Fengnian sighed, and his fists suddenly relaxed. He thought of the outcome, and at the moment, he couldn't accept it. Miss Su, you've misunderstood me. This old man only came here today out of love for his son. Because the son I love is suddenly gone. Maybe I was too agitated. I hope you won't take offense, Miss Su. Since you really don't know anything about this matter, then I won't linger too long. Wei Fengnian made a compromise. He waved his large hand and took the initiative to walk out the door, back to the capital. Uncle Li, help me send off my guest, Su Qiu-yu said. A gray-haired, elderly man walked out and brought the Wei family members out of the Su family mansion. Not long after they left, a maid ran out of the inner room. She looked anxiously at Su Qiu-yu and said, Elder Miss Su, bad news, Master is coughing up blood again. How could this be? Didn't we get medicine from the doctor? Su Qiu-yu's expression changed completely as she immediately followed the maid into the inner room. Hurry and take me to see. Older brother, I can't help feeling that that damn Su girl is hiding something from us. Are we really going to leave just like that? Wei Fengnian and his men had just left the Su family mansion when a man with a long braid yelled coldly. This was Wei Fengnian's second younger brother, Wei Haoting. The Wei elders' main intent in sending the 2 brothers was to uncover the truth. Then what do you want to do? Run back and start a bloody battle with the Su family? We only brought a couple of people. If we really fought, could you really get back alive? Wei Fengnian glared at his second brother and spoke with dissatisfaction. Older brother, I'm clear on what you said, but we ran all the way here to Sky City, yet we haven't even been here for 2 hours and we have to hurriedly rush back. I'm not satisfied with the results yet. Wei Haoting furrowed his brows and said, Plus, the William family gave us a time limit, so we have to hurry and find the culprit, or we'll have to start a war sooner or later. Wei Fengnian suddenly stopped. He was naturally well aware of all the things second younger brother was saying. After leaving the Su family, he kept thinking about his future plans. He looked at Wei Hao Tang and said, "Second younger brother, take a couple of people, stay in Sky City, and secretly monitor the Su family's recent movements. Since the Su family elder didn't show up and let a silly little girl speak with us directly though we came all the way here, I suspect that some problems have arisen within the Su family. This problem probably relates to the culprit. Help me look into it, and once there's any news, tell me." All that Wei Fengnian said was just his conjectures, but one could tell from this that Wei Fengnian was pretty shrewd. He left his second younger brother in Sky City to continue monitoring the Su family's situation while he prepared to return to the capital to use the family's power to inquire about the situation through other channels. By approaching the problem from two angles, he believed that the truth would quickly be revealed. "Okay, don't worry, eldest brother. I will unwaveringly glue my eyes to the Su family," Wei Haoting said calmly. "You four stay and protect Haotong. You three follow me back to the capital." Wei Fengnian waved his hand and grandly led the three people away. Qin Feng drove Li Yuchen, and they were already back at Acropolis City. Li Yuchen exhaled deeply in relief once she saw the blue skies and the roads of Acropolis. Yesterday night's ambiguous atmosphere and awkward actions occasionally floated through her mind, and her fair face was constantly tinged with red. "Qin Feng, just take me to the West Lake courtyard. I didn't sleep so well last night, and I'll go back first to have a good sleep," Li Yuchen said to Qin Feng. Her voice was a bit hoarse, so Qin Feng asked a bit suspiciously, "General Manager Li, what's wrong with your throat? Did you not cover yourself well with the blanket last night and get sick in consequence?" Once he brought up the blanket, Li Yuchen glared at Qin Feng. Last night, Qin Feng kicked his blanket onto the ground and wormed under her blanket. Two people shared one small blanket, so of course she wasn't covered well. However, because Qin Feng's leg was clamped on Li Yuchen's stomach, there was a heat-preserving effect. Li Yuchen didn't see a cold. Her throat was hoarse because she yelled too intensely and for too long last night. "Aren't you ashamed for saying that? You kicked off your blanket and stole mine. How could I not get sick?" Since Li Yuchen saw that Qin Feng didn't realize the true reason her throat was hoarse, how would she tell him? That would be deathly embarrassing. "So that's what happened," Qin Feng said with seriousness. "Then you're pretty normal, General Manager Li. Funny story. I have a beautiful girlfriend and she once woke up with a hoarse throat as well, but it wasn't because she got sick. She shouted for half the night in bed and forcefully yelled until her throat turned hoarse." "Haha, isn't she funny?" As Qin Feng said this, he couldn't help but burst into laughter. Li Yuchen blanched. She knew Qin Feng was talking about her, and she just discovered that she was played by Qin Feng once again. Chapter 222. Chapter 222, Flying Dragon Armor Fusion. When the car stopped outside the West Lake Courtyard District, every part of Qin Feng's body was pinched ruthlessly by Li Yuchen. "You stupid pervert, I don't want to ever see you again." Li Yuchen finally made it home. She gave Qin Feng an angry glare and got out of the car. She swore she would never sit in a car Qin Feng drove ever again because once you sit in his car, you'd feel like jumping out every second. However, Qin Feng drove too quickly, so you wouldn't have the guts to jump out. "General Manager Li, see you tomorrow. Hope your cold gets better soon. Otherwise, your hoarse voice will make me think of other things." Qin Feng waved with a jolly laugh, and with a beautiful drift, the car flew out again. Li Yuchen stomped her high heels harshly and was so angry that she wanted to cry. After taking Li Yuchen home, Qin Feng drove directly back to the Qin Manor. The car had just stopped at the Qin Mansion when Qin Feng's phone rang. He took it out to look and found an unfamiliar number. "Who is it?" Qin Feng asked as he got out of the car. "Is this Big Brother phone?" An uncertain voice passed through the phone. It was sticky and sweet, and very pleasing to the ear. Qin Feng immediately guessed who it was because only Li Xiaojia called him Big Brother phone. "It's Xiaojia, isn't it?" "I'm Qin Feng," Qin Feng said with a smile. The cute image of Lu Xiaojia wearing her school uniform comprised of a white dress shirt and Scotland striped skirt floated into his mind. Her long, Straight legs clad in black stockings created a look of purity with a slither of sexiness. Big brother Qin Feng, how could you forget again? You have to call me little sister Xiao Jia, and you have to address me affectionately. After confirming the phone was Qin Feng's, Lu Xiao Jia's intonation suddenly became happy. She wasn't formal with him and treated Qin Feng like he was a big brother from a neighboring household. Little sister Xiao Jia. Qin Feng was dumbfounded and exclaimed before asking, "Is something the matter?" Big brother Qin Feng, today is my birthday. Can you come out tonight to be my escort? Lu Xiaojia said with a happy smile. Ever since Qin Feng saved her from getting kidnapped that night, Lu Xiaojia trusted Qin Feng a lot. A table was reserved at the Fei Tian bar on the pedestrian walkway for her birthday tonight. It was Lu Xiaojia's first time going to a bar, and she heard bars were kind of messy, but she was very curious to see it. Thus, she thought of Qin Feng. As long as Qin Feng was there, she wouldn't be afraid. Okay, where and what time tonight? Qin Feng hesitated for a moment, then agreed. Since birthdays only happened once a year, he didn't want to disappoint Lu Xiaojia. Big brother Feng, you're awesome. Then come to my house tonight at 7 and call me when you're here. We'll go together, Lu Xiaojia said happily. Okay, I'll look for you then. After hanging up with Lu Xiaojia, Qin Feng arrived at the third floor of the villa and went into his room. Qin Feng acquired 2,000 hedonist points by going to Qingshui town and completing the quest regarding Li Yuchan getting forced to marry, so he prepared to go into the hedonist sovereign system to see if there were any good things he could use. Qin Feng climbed onto his bed, opened the hedonist sovereign system, and looked into it earnestly. With his current external stage 3 and internal stage 2 abilities, he was considered to be at a cultivation bottleneck. The pills for advancing stages were extremely expensive, and they were all 2,000 hedonist points. Even if he used all his points to buy pills, it wouldn't be prominently useful. Qin Feng had quite a few pieces of equipment, and the highest grade was an orange-grade equipment. It was even more unrealistic to buy equipment with higher grades, because orange-grade equipment in the system were easily over 10,000 hedonist points. And there was no point in looking at the blue-grade equipment, which was a grade higher than the orange, since the worst ones were 20 or 30,000 hedonist points at minimum. Qin Feng was in a bit of a difficult situation. He had money in his hands, but nothing he could buy. What he wanted to buy he couldn't afford, and what he could buy wasn't useful to him. Qin Feng sighed. He wanted to save his hedonist points and wait until he had 3,000 hedonist points so he could buy the wind blade technique, and wait until he reached internal stage 4 and could use the wind blade technique. At that time, his abilities would have a qualitative breakthrough. Master, I would advise you to spend your 2,000 hedonist points. It'll be a while until you cultivate up to internal stage 4, and it would be really wasteful to buy the wind blade techniques and be unable to use them. Little Pig's voice was heard. Master, you're now a rank 4 hedonist mortal, and you've spent a total of 6,500 hedonist points. If you spend these 2,000 hedonist points, your total spendings would amount to 8,500 hedonist points. Once you've spent 10,000 hedonist points, you can become a rank 5 hedonist mortal, and the system will award you 3 free lottery chances. Every time Master uses the chances, you get good items. So I'd advise Master to hurry and spend points to achieve 10,000 in spendings and enter the drawing. Once Little Pig brought this up, Qin Feng remembered that the system had hedonist rankings. With a higher rank, more system features could be unlocked, and he'd be able to buy even more godly equipment. If Qin Feng remembered correctly, after reaching rank 5 hedonist mortal, he'd be able to activate the wuxia interface and buy various equipment and medicine used by wuxia characters. Just thinking about it got Qin Feng excited. Okay, I'll spend these 2,000 hedonist points first, then my total spendings would reach 8,500 hedonist points. I just need to complete a couple of quests, gain 1,500 hedonist points, spend them, and I'd be able to raise my hedonist rank and gain 3 free lottery chances. Qin Feng made his decision, but Little Pig continued to speak. Master, then I'd advise you to look at the fusion interface. When you became a rank 4 hedonist mortal, the fusion function was opened. In the past, Master fused quite a few pets, but you haven't fused equipment, pills, or anything else. Qin Feng opened the fusion function and entered the fusion interface. Currently, The highest equipment grade Qin Feng possessed was orange. He thought it would be awesome if he could fuse a blue-grade equipment. However, once he saw the fusion price of fusing an orange equipment into a blue one, he immediately changed his mind. One fuse was 2,000 hedonist points, and the fusion success rate was only 33%. He had to add various gems of different properties to increase the rate, and each of these gems were pricey. He couldn't fuse a blue equipment, so Qin Feng's gaze fell on the orange equipment fusions once more. Fusing white equipment into orange equipment once costed 1,000 hedonist points, and the success rate was 43%. It also needed some gems to increase the fusion success rate, but other equipment of the same grade could also raise the success rate. Qin Feng hesitated for a while, then placed the Flying Dragon Armor and the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade into the fusion function. The Flying Dragon Armor was the equipment needed to be fused, and the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade was the supplementary item used to increase the fusion success rate. System announcement. The current fusion requires 1,000 hedonist points. Fusion success rate, 98%. With the fusion, the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade will disappear, additional functions will be added to the Flying Dragon Armor, and the Flying Dragon Armor will upgrade from a white-grade equipment to an orange-grade equipment. Would you like to fuse? After adding the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade, the fusion success rate rose from 43% to 98%, so Qin Feng was very satisfied. He wanted to use the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade to improve the quality of the Flying Dragon Armor because the large Crescent Moon Blade wasn't to Qin Feng's taste. Even if he left it in the system, he wouldn't use it, so keeping it was a waste. Now he could use it to upgrade the Flying Dragon Armor, so this was the only way to bring out its usefulness. Since the Flying Dragon Armor was a godly training equipment and had protective abilities, if it could be upgraded, it could help speed up Qin Feng's cultivation and protect him. It was quite necessary to strengthen and upgrade this piece of equipment. Fuse. Under Qin Feng's command, a large furnace appeared in the fusion function, and the Flying Dragon Armor and the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade fell into the furnace. After a minute, a new Flying Dragon Armor with orange light slowly rose out. Flying Dragon Armor. Equipment grade. Orange top-grade equipment. When equipped, adds 250 kilograms onto the host's body, helping the host train at all times and quickly break through his body's limits. Once removed, the host will burst out with unfathomable speed. Announcement. The Flying Dragon Armor is created with the cartilage of a spirit beast. Its innate capabilities are to protect the body and increase the speed of breaks through bodily limits. When fused, it absorbed the Green Dragon Crescent Moon Blade, which is made of mainly winter iron. With the addition of winter iron, it will feel cool and comfortable and make the wearer clear and invigorated, allowing them to always be in a first-rate battle condition. Qin Feng was very satisfied with the description of the fused Flying Dragon Armor. His gaze fell on the new Flying Dragon Armor on the bed. It no longer had a faint white light, and currently exuded flashes of a dim orange light. He placed his hand on the Flying Dragon Armor and could feel gusts of wintry air, making Qin Feng instantly alert. The altered Flying Dragon Armor didn't only have winter iron properties, the most important was that his defense abilities could be increased a lot. Also, the weight also went from 150 kilograms to 250 kilograms. Ever since Qin Feng broke through to External Stage 3 and Internal Stage 2, he thought the Flying Dragon Armor was light and didn't make much of an effect on his training. Now that it was 250 kilograms, it made Qin Feng's current strength. Qin Feng picked up the Flying Dragon Armor from his bed and immediately put it on. The sudden additional 250 kilograms was no joke. In the beginning, Qin Feng wasn't quite used to it. However, after performing a set of Thunder Tiger Fists, he was mostly used to the new weight of the Flying Dragon Armor. At the same time, he could feel that under the new weight on his body, he was quickly changing and cultivating himself. It was clear that the speed at which Qin Feng was cultivating his body increased once again. Qin Feng was very satisfied with the Flying Dragon Armor's fusion. After calming down again, he looked into the system's fusion interface once again. He still had 1,000 hedonist points, and he needed to find items to spend it all. The fusion function was split into many pages including creature fusion, equipment fusion and forging, medicinal fusion, technique fusion, talisman creation and instrument fusion, etc. Qin Feng had not used a good number of the pages, and his attention was currently on the talisman creation and instrument fusion pages. Qin Feng was quite interested in creating talismans. Usually, he often saw cheats on the street writing various talismanic words on yellow paper saying it could heal hundreds of illnesses, drive away ghosts, and subdue demons. In the past, Qin Feng thought these things were just to fool people, but now that the system had these things, he believed in them very much. He opened the talisman creation and instrument fusion pages. There were various pre-made talismans: cleansing talisman, fireball talisman, invisible talisman, see-through talisman, etc. After seeing the see-through talisman, Qin Feng suddenly thought of when he was facing Feng Tianhua in the Royal Hotel. Qin Feng could have used the see-through talisman to see which room he was in. However, he still spent 50 hedonist points to buy the see-through talisman. When Qin Feng saw how cheap these items were, he quickly looked up other talismans and found the others were more expensive. Most of them were 100 hedonist points or more. Master, the prices are lower for these talismans because they are one-time use items, and after they are used, they disappear. You can also look at the instruments. Little Pig said, instruments are different from weapons. They typically use passive attacks. Each instrument has their own specialty, and most are used to protect the body or increase its resistance. The prices are reasonable and the quality is evident. Little Pig said. Chapter 223. Chapter 223. Instruments. The instruments had a great variety of strange capabilities. There were instruments that cleansed the spirit and calmed the heart, those that regulated the qi and blood flow and strengthened health, and those with protective attacks that could autonomously defend the body in times of danger. After comparing the large number of instruments closely, Qin Feng chose two worth 500 hedonist points. One was an instrument to be gifted to Lin Bei Bei called the Blood Flow Bracelet. It was a bracelet made up of ocean blue beads that Qin Feng didn't know the name of, which were strung together. Wearing it would regulate qi and blood circulation and prevent blood from getting clotted in the veins. Because he knew Lin Bei Bei's temporary paralysis was due to an obstruction in blood circulation, this instrument would clearly be very helpful to her. After buying the blood flow bracelet, Qin Feng bought a soul-cleansing necklace for Zhao Lingxian. It was a necklace made of light green beads that would refresh the wearer and suppress fright. Qin Feng hadn't seen Zhao Lingxian in a while, and he thought often about the girl. Since he grew up with her and they were childhood sweethearts, one could say that Zhao Lingxian had an irreplaceable spot in his heart. He was prepared to take some time to call on Uncle Zhao and gift this soul-cleansing necklace to Zhao Lingxian. That girl had such a princess syndrome that she was always cold, aloof, and easily angered. Qin Feng thought to give her the necklace because he hoped it could stabilize her emotions. According to the system's description, other than their particular special capabilities, these two instruments also had a one-time defense mechanism. If the wearer was in danger, the instrument would produce a light and deflect the danger. However, since they were inexpensive instruments, they only had a one-time protection capability. After they were used, the instruments would automatically disappear. After upgrading the Flying Dragon armor and buying two instruments, the 2,000 hedonist points Qin Feng gained were completely spent. He put away the two instruments and practiced his Thunder Tiger fists in the room until his body became completely accustomed to the 250-kilogram Flying Dragon armor. After, he showered, washed away all of his sweat, then slept on his bed. Who knew how long later, Qin Feng's cell phone rang. He looked at the notification and saw that it was Lu Xiaojia. Then, he looked at the clock on the wall and realized it was already 7 o'clock. He agreed to be at her building to pick her up at 7. Big brother Feng, you huge liar. Why aren't you here yet? What? Don't tell me you forgot something as important as your little sister Xiaojia's birthday? Lu Xiaojia's wrong complaints passed through the phone. Qin Feng was swept with awkwardness and immediately wore his clothes. Little sister Xiaojia, I'm on my way. Wait 10 minutes and I'll be there for sure. After going downstairs, Qin Feng drove out his extremely cool black Batmobile. This car was left in the Qin Manor garage for over a month because ever since he got his low-key 28 bicycle, he didn't think it was worth driving. However, tonight was Lu Xiaojia's birthday, so Qin Feng thought he should drive a better car to pick her up and help her keep up appearances. It had been a long time since he drove this black Lamborghini, but when he began driving again, not only was driving it again not unfamiliar, Qin Feng even felt as though he became one with the car. Ever since he got the intermediate racing skills in the lottery, he never drove his own car to perform racing techniques. Now, with his extraordinary driving skills and his awesomely cool supercar, as Qin Feng drove along the busy street, every place he passed he would arouse shock from the surrounding cars. 10 minutes later, the black Batmobile formed a black shadow and accurately stopped below the villa Lu Xiaojia lived at. He had just gotten out of the car when he saw a little girl dressed prettily puffing her cheeks and squatting a bit unhappily at the villa entrance. This cute girl was naturally Lu Xiaojia. By the looks of it, she was in a bit of a bad mood because Qin Feng was late. She wore a pink mini dress tonight, revealing her long and fair legs. She also wore rainbow cotton socks up to her calves, giving the viewer an unnamed allure. Lu Xiaojia also wore a red Hello Kitty clip on her short, glossy, raven black hair. Her large eyes looked to the ground, and her long and thick eyelashes blinked twice every so often. She had light pink eyeshadow on her eyes that formed a vivacious and mischievous feeling, and deep red lipstick on her little lips that made her look a bit like a vampire. A pair of chubby little hands held a twig and drew circles on the ground. She drew while quietly complaining, "I curse Big Brother Feng to step on dog poo right when he walks out the door." After hearing Lu Xiaojia's complaints, Qin Feng almost stumbled and fell. He laughed as he shook his head and walked up to her. He lightly touched her beautiful fragrant hair and said, "Little sister Xiaojia, you look pure and cute on the outside, but who knew you were so evil internally? You're actually cursing your big brother Feng behind his back? That's not the behavior of a good child." When Lu Xiaojia heard Qin Feng's voice, she first excitedly jumped up to hold his arm. Then, she seemed to suddenly remember something and angrily pushed Qin Feng away as she complained, "Big brother Feng, you were actually late on such an enormously important day? You've really disappointed little sister Xiaojia. My classmates are all waiting there for me. I would feel so embarrassed to be late." After Lu Xiaojia stood, Qin Feng was able to clearly see her face. Qin Feng jumped in shock when he saw how mature and sexy she made herself look. "Xiaojia, why did you make yourself look this way? Big brother Feng, does it look good?" Lu Xiaojia suddenly took Qin Feng's arm and looked expectantly at him. Qin Feng looked closely and considered Lu Xiaojia. This originally pure and cute little girl put on makeup to make herself look mature and sexy, but she was still a little girl that had not yet experienced society, so even if she put on even more makeup to hide her age, her clear, lovely eyes would still reveal her purity in an instant. The current Lu Xiaojia was a little sprite that was full of pureness with a hint of sexy charmingness. "You look very good. Little sister Xiaojia will definitely be the most beautiful princess tonight." Qin Feng smiled as he tapped Lu Xiaojia's nose. He wasn't opposed to Lu Xiaojia dressing up. He knew that little girls Lu Xiaojia's age would secretly wear adult high heels and dresses and secretly use their makeup. This was the result of the very normal curiosity of a little girl that looked forward to growing up. It was because she had this curiosity and forward-looking desire in life that she would be so youthful and energetic. It made one feel jealous. "Big brother Feng, you have great taste." After getting complimented by Qin Feng, Lu Xiaojia's anger completely disappeared, and she took the initiative to hug Qin Feng's arm. Qin Feng took Lu Xiaojia into his Batmobile and said with a smile, "Little sister Xiaojia, do you like this car?" After sitting in Qin Feng's cool race car, Lu Xiaojia's mouth dropped open in shock. She looked at Qin Feng in a daze and said, "Wow, Big brother Feng, where did you rent such a cool race car? It has to be thousands of yuan to rent this car for a day." Qin Feng's lips quirked, and he looked at Lu Xiaojia with dissatisfaction as he said, "This car isn't rented." Lu Xiaojia's pleasantly surprised expression turned into one of horror. She looked anxiously at Qin Feng and said, "Big brother Feng, you didn't steal this car, did you? It's my birthday today, don't get me in trouble." Qin Feng wanted to kick Lu Xiaojia off the car. It was rare that he drove his supercar out to show off, so why was it that no one appreciated it? If he knew earlier, he would have just rode the 28 bicycle over. It seems that that vehicle was to Lu Xiaojia's taste. Xiaojia, where are we going to celebrate tonight? Qin Feng was too lazy to explain the car situation, so he swayed the topic to the task at hand. Big brother Feng, tonight my friends and I agreed to go to the Fei Tian bar. I'm really excited. It's my first time going to a bar. Big brother Qin, have you been to bars before? Once Qin Feng heard Fei Tian bar, his lips tweed. How could he not have gone before? That bar was his. Qin Feng hadn't gotten the chance to finish his sentence when he heard Lu Xiaojia speak excitedly while waving her arms and legs. Big brother Feng, I've heard that those that like going to bars aren't good people, but I'm also really curious about the environment inside, so I looked for Big brother Feng to accompany me there on my birthday. I also hope that Big brother Feng can be my escort tonight. Big brother Feng, the first time I saw you, I thought you were a dependable person. I'm sure you've never been to a bar before either, so this princess will take you to experience it. Big brother Feng, you be basking in some of my spotlight. Haha, yeah, I've never been to a bar, I'm a good person. Qin Feng said with a laugh as he forcibly swallowed what he was about to say. Big brother Feng, let's hurry and leave. You have to drive such a cool supercar faster. I want to feel the thrill. Lu Xiaojia lifted her arms and looked impossibly happy. Qin Feng smiled lightly, helped Lu Xiaojia put on her seatbelt, and stepped all the way down on the gas pedal. The black Lamborghini Batmobile shot out. In the dusk yellow lights, it was like a black apparition that came and went without a trace. Wow, it's fast, really fast. Lu Xiaojia was young and really excited by this kind of thrilling racing. She was also extremely trusting of Qin Feng, so she wasn't like the other women that rode in Qin Feng's car who were extremely frightened. Lu Xiaojia had an expression of excitement and enjoyment. Big brother Feng, can you drive a little faster? I can feel the car about to fly, and I'm going to become a flying superhuman. That's easy enough, but you have to sit properly, don't hit your head. Qin Feng smiled and went even faster. The deep rumbling of the car was like a flood beast that shook so much it trembled the ground a bit. Haha, it's really going to fly. Big brother Feng, I'm really happy. Lu Xiaojia was elated the whole way. At this time, she suddenly and excitedly hugged Qin Feng's neck, then kissed his cheek. The little girl's lips were moist and soft, and the touch felt very wonderful. After getting kissed, the still wet saliva lingered on Qin Feng's face. Xiaojia, what are you doing? I almost flipped the car. Qin Feng was caught off guard and really almost crashed the car into a tree. At this time, he glared at Lu Xiaojia. Lu Xiaojia stuck out her tongue mischievously. When Qin Feng saw the cute pink tongue and Lu Xiaojia's silly and cute expression, Qin Feng really wanted to stop the car, firmly press down on this little girl's body and wildly kiss her little tongue. However, he suppressed his urges because Lu Xiaojia was too young. Haha, big brother Qin Feng, your current expression is too fun. Lu Xiaojia clearly wasn't frightened by Qin Feng's fake anger. She even giggled and pointed at Qin Feng's cheek that was just kissed. Qin Feng looked into his rearview mirror and noticed a mark from Lu Xiaojia's little lips. He was about to scold Lu Xiaojia when he felt a pair of exquisitely soft little hands touch his face. Big brother Feng, don't be angry. Little sister Xiaojia will help you wipe off the lipstick right now, and it'll be okay. Lu Xiaojia's hands were as soft as a baby's skin, and it felt very nice on Qin Feng's face. Evil thoughts arose in Qin Feng's head once again as he thought if the hands were used to. They wildly sped the whole way. Qin Feng only drove for 15 minutes, and the car then stopped outside the entrance to the Fei Tian bar. It was already 7:30, which was when the bar's business was slowly burgeoning. One could see quite a few young men and women heading into the bar in groups of 3 or 4. After parking the car, Qin Feng and Lu Xiaojia got out of it. Big brother Feng, I'll call my classmates and see if they've arrived. Once Lu Xiaojia got out of the car, she pulled out her phone and made a call. She spoke into the phone for a while, then hung up and smiled at Qin Feng. Big brother Feng, they're already in the bar. Let's go in. Qin Feng couldn't be more familiar with the Fei Tian bar. Once he entered, he acted as casually as if he returned home. On the other hand, it was Lu Xiaojia's first time in a place like this. Once she entered, she was startled by the loud, bass-filled music. She covered her ears and looked curiously around her. The bar was too boisterous. Young men and women filled the dance floor and looked like out-of-control wild horses as they crazily twisted their bodies. The kids Lu Xiaojia's age were a bit rebellious and were very curious about new things. She hadn't been in the bar for very long but had already adapted to the atmosphere. To a girl that was outgoing and enjoyed liveliness like Lu Xiaojia, this wild and lively atmosphere was clearly to her taste. Xiaojia, here. The two hadn't stood at the doorway for very long when someone inside called Lu Xiaojia's name. Lu Xiaojia looked over and noticed her classmate sitting there. She immediately and excitedly tugged Qin Feng's hand and ran over. They passed through the dance floor and arrived at a VIP table. Qin Feng saw a group of boys and girls sitting around a crystal table. They were all Lu Xiaojia's classmates. These students in their last year of middle school were not older than 15 or 16, but they dressed like they were in their 20s. The girls all wore bright and beautiful dresses and looked pretty and sexy, while the men wore white dress shirts and slacks and looked handsome and gentlemanly. The scene was as previously described. Chapter 224. Chapter 224. Why is an outsider here? Students nowadays dressed as ladies, and ladies dressed as college students. Xiaojia, you're today's birthday girl and you had the guts to be late? Whatever, you have to drink 3 cups of beer as punishment. Once Lu Xiaojia came over, the students all stood to greet her. Qin Feng's gaze swept over them. There were a total of 4 girls and 5 guys that came to celebrate Lu Xiaojia's birthday. The 4 girls dressed up decently, but were clearly a couple of grades below Lu Xiaojia in quality. Among the 5 boys, one of them was impeccably attired and had an unordinary aura. His gaze fell on Qin Feng. When he saw that Lu Xiaojia was holding Qin Feng's hand, an iciness passed through his eyes. Aya, you bad girl, you know I can't drink, and once I come, you punish me to drink 3 cups of alcohol. Do you want me to play with all of you later? Lu Xiaojia let go of Qin Feng, joined the 4 girls, and hugged each of them in turn. Then, she pulled Qin Feng into the group. Let me introduce someone. Last time when I was almost kidnapped in the middle of the night, Big Brother Feng saved me. Lu Xiaojia began to introduce everyone. Big Brother Feng, these are my classmates. We usually play well together, well? All of the gazes fell on Qin Feng, and he was continuously scrutinized from head to toe. Among the 4 girls, a little beauty named Chen Mei Han covered her mouth and began to laugh. Xiaojia, I recognize your Big Brother Feng. Last time you put up a WeChat status with this person, right? When she mentioned the picture he took with Lu Xiaojia that was sent to her friend circle through WeChat, Qin Feng's mouth tweaked. Not bad. He's even handsomer in person. It's just that he's much older than us. Xiaojia, who would have known you were into the uncle type? I didn't notice it before. After being teased by Chen Mei Han, Lu Xiaojia blushed. However, she didn't try to explain her relationship with Qin Feng and revealed a shy and moving expression, causing the males who saw it to almost lose their senses. Ahem, little Mei, Big Brother Xiaobai is still here. Some jokes can't be made so casually. The largest male in the group coughed twice and suddenly stood out to say, Xiaojia, it's your birthday today, and everyone who came is one of us. Why did you bring an outsider? That's no fun. After hearing the fatty's words, Lu Xiaojia pouted and said unhappily, Fatty, Big Brother Qin saved me before, so he's one of us now. Xiaojia, I'm saying this for your own good. Fatty glared at Qin Feng, then looked at Lu Xiaojia again as he said, We're all classmates of 3 years, and you've only known him for a week. Who knows if he's a bad person or not, and whether or not he has any ill intentions towards you. Fatty, if you keep talking about Big Brother Feng like that, I'm going to get mad. Lu Xiaojia's expression became serious. She looked as though she would cut ties with anyone that dared to say bad things about Qin Feng. Her friends seldom saw Lu Xiaojia so serious, and they didn't dare to speak. Four of the 5 boys looked towards the one with the unordinary aura in unison, as though they were waiting for him to speak. This person was named Su Xiaobai, and he was the boss of the 4. He pursued Lu Xiaojia since the first year of middle school. Lu Xiaojia placed her emphasis on school, so she never accepted Su Xiaobai. After countless failed confessions, Su Xiaobai's patience was long worn out. He just so happened to hear it was recently Lu Xiaojia's birthday, so he specifically reserved a small gathering place in the bar to help Lu Xiaojia celebrate. In reality, Su Xiaobai and his 4 underlings made a plan. They were going to get Lu Xiaojia drunk on her birthday tonight. Then, Su Xiaobai would get a room with her and turn raw rice into cooked rice. However, their plan had just begun when it was thrown into a frenzy by Qin Feng. These underlings didn't dare act out blindly, so they could only wait for their boss to speak. Haha, since he's Xiaojia's friend, then he's our friend as well. You're the birthday girl tonight, so if you don't take the lead and drink first, how could we drink happily? You have to drink these 3 cups for being late, otherwise we won't drink any alcohol tonight. Right, guys? At this time, Fatty began to make a fuss. He got Su Xiaobai's command right from the beginning regarding tonight's quest to think of ways to get Lu Xiaojia drunk. That's right, if Xiaojia doesn't drink, we won't either. Xiaojia, we came here especially to celebrate your birthday. You can't be such a party pooper. The remaining boys also began to agree, and they all urged Lu Xiaojia to drink the alcohol. Lu Xiaojia couldn't refuse. She opened and closed her mouth and didn't know what to say. Xiaojia is my little sister, and as her older brother, I'll drink for her. At Lu Xiaojia's time of adversity, Qin Feng suddenly stood out. He lifted the 3 cups of beer from the table in succession and drank them all in 3 gulps without the slightest pause in the middle. This powerful drinking aroused startled gasps in the 3 girls. Wow, Xiaojia, how did you get this gem of an uncle? How come I haven't found one? Drinking like that is too manly. I'm so jealous that you have such a thoughtful uncle to drink for you. Qin Feng had just put the cup down when little Mei hugged Lu Xiaojia's arm and shouted excitedly and continuously. The 5 boys sitting across from them had extremely ugly expressions. Xiaojia, if you're like this, then I'll be unhappy. How could you let someone else drink for you? We're here tonight for you, Xiaojia, so if you don't even drink with us, why are we even here? Fatty grumbled again. Lu Xiaojia was a bit embarrassed. She picked up a cup of beer and smiled at everyone. Thank you everyone for coming here to celebrate my birthday with me. Cheers. Lu Xiaojia lifted her head, scrunched her eyebrows, and swallowed the repulsive beer. In the middle of drinking, she choked and stopped a fair amount of times. When the whole cup was ingested, tears sprang from her eyes. Okay, nice Xiaojia. After Lu Xiaojia finished drinking 1 cup of beer, the 4 lackeys began to applaud. Fatty took this opportunity to stand and bring another cup of beer in front of Lu Xiaojia. Xiaojia, come, big brother will drink a cup with you. If you respect your big brother Fatty, then let's have a drink. After Fatty finished speaking, he didn't give Lu Xiaojia the opportunity to refuse and already lifted his head and completely downed the cup of beer in his hand. Then, he looked at Lu Xiaojia with a smile and said, Xiaojia, hurry and drink. Don't tell me you look down on your big brother Fatty. Lu Xiaojia was in a difficult situation. She thought the beer was absolutely repulsive, but she worried that Fatty would be sad if she rejected him, so she looked helplessly at Qin Feng. Qin Feng sat beside Lu Xiaojia, and at this time he shot a slight smile towards her. He suddenly stood, lifted the cup of beer, lifted his head, and swallowed it. After the empty cup landed on the table, he looked calmly at the others, smiled, and said, For all those that want to toast little sister Xiaojia today, I'll drink for her. After you all inebriate me, then you're free to get Xiaojia as drunk as you wish. Chapter 225. Chapter 225. I don't know how to play. The expressions of Su Xiaobai and his 4 lackeys darkened. They all exchanged glances and all reached the same conclusion. Since this brat Qin Feng was so cocky, they would first get Qin Feng drunk. Once he was trashed, they would clean him up however they liked. Seems that you can really drink? Then these brothers will drink with you until you're satisfied. Come, let's drink from the bottles. Fatty was the most dissatisfied with Qin Feng. He took the lead, picked up a bottle of beer, and guzzled it. He drank first, then Qin Feng did. However, Qin Feng finished drinking his bottle a while before Fatty finished drinking his. From the grandeur and speed at which the two drank, Fatty already lost to Qin Feng. Wow, Xiaojia, your uncle can really drink. Qin Feng drank in a confident and easy manner, and he drank beer like plain water. After drinking one bottle, he took the initiative to bring over 4 more. Don't toast me one by one, you 4. It's a hassle, so I'll drink 4 bottles at once and you can each drink one. After speaking, Qin Feng drank bottle after bottle. He was a bit thirsty after going from the Qin Manor to Cloud City Hua Manor to pick up Lu Xiaojia and then to the Fei Tian bar. At this time, he drank 5 bottles in a row and felt a lot better. Gasp! The scene caused all those present to gasp. They weighed Qin Feng drink 5 bottles of beer in a row with their own eyes, and they were ingested one right after the other without any breathing room in between. Also, after finishing 5 bottles of beer so fiercely, Qin Feng's face remained unchanged. He stood there casually and was even joking with Lu Xiaojia. Big Brother Feng, will you be okay drinking so quickly? Though Qin Feng looked fine, Lu Xiaojia was still a bit worried. Qin Feng had just sat down when Lu Xiaojia pulled out a couple of napkins and wiped beer from the corner of Qin Feng's mouth. This action was too loving, and Lu Xiaojia leaned over, so the milky smell from her body filled Qin Feng's nose. He covertly lowered his head and could look past the collar of Lu Xiaojia's dress and see the yellow camisole within. Though this girl was still young, her chest was still very underripe. Brat, we aren't done drinking. Do you have the guts to continue? After seeing this scene, Su Xiaobai was so angry he wanted to die. He directly stood and gave Qin Feng an icy glare. Qin Feng lightly grabbed Lu Xiaojia's little hand that was wiping his mouth, moved it to the side, sat on the chair, and looked indifferently at Su Xiaobai. He said, "Of course I have the guts. I'll drink however many bottles you want to drink." Qin Feng's voice was calm, but everyone had just seen his alcohol tolerance, so after hearing him say those words, they all thought Qin Feng was bragging. Even Su Xiaobai and his 4 lackeys didn't have the guts to directly drink with Qin Feng. They were afraid that even the 5 of them together wouldn't be able to beat Qin Feng on his own. It's kind of boring to just pick up the bottles and drink, so why don't we drink while playing games? A playfulness flashed through Su Xiaobai's eyes as he spoke while smiling. The 5 of them saw that Qin Feng could really drink, so they were prepared to use the advantage of the game to make Qin Feng lose continuously and make him drink continuously. They didn't believe they couldn't get the brat drunk that way. After hearing Su Xiaobai's words, Qin Feng internally thought the situation was a bit comical. Of course he knew what this stinking brat was thinking. However, Qin Feng was lauded as Acropolis City's #1 nightclub Little Prince in middle school, and no one could beat Qin Feng in any game relating to betting with alcohol. Games? I don't really know how to play. Qin Feng had an expression of seriousness as he looked at Su Xiaobai and his 4 lackeys. Why don't we forget about it? If I don't play well later, I'll spoil your fun. Once the 5 of them heard that Qin Feng didn't know how to play games, they immediately became excited. How could they let Qin Feng go? Brother, it's okay if you don't know how to play, we can teach you. It's very simple, so you'll be sure to learn it right away. Fatty smiled joyfully as he looked at Qin Feng. Is it really simple? I'm kind of dumb, Qin Feng said. If you're dumb, that's perfect. Fatty was so excited he almost made a slip of the tongue. He immediately checked himself and said, "With these games, the more truthful you are, the more advantageous it'll be for you. It's called coping with many changes by being unchanging." Right, every time these games are played, it's those who don't know how to play that win the most spectacularly, and those that play often like us can't even win. After seeing that Qin Feng was about to get caught hook, line, and sinker, the other boys also joined in. All right, let's hurry and begin. Games are just for fun. Winning or losing isn't important. Then let's start playing. Either way, I don't know how to play, so I'll just play blindly. Qin Feng said with a smile. Brother, you really are refreshing. Come, let's play the number guessing game. Fatty cleared off a small part of the table, rolled up his sleeves, and couldn't wait to start playing with Qin Feng. This number guessing game is really simple. We'll randomly shout numbers from 1 to 10, and whenever you yell a number, you have to say an auspicious saying relating to the number and stick out the same number of fingers. Alright, let's begin. Fatty knew Qin Feng didn't know how to play, so when he explained the rules of the game, he intentionally said them quickly and a bit confusingly. After stating the rules, he didn't ask if Qin Feng understood them and was in a hurry to start competing with Qin Feng instead. He clearly wanted to bully Qin Feng, and even Lu Xiaojia noticed. Big brother Feng, did you understand? Lu Xiaojia hugged Qin Feng's arm and looked at Qin Feng with wide eyes. Qin Feng shook his head. I don't really get it, but it's a game, so I'll get it after a couple of rounds, right, Fatty? Everyone's nickname is a source of pain to them. Though Fatty was a nickname Su Xiaobai and his other brothers called him, he actually rejected it initially. Thus, when Qin Feng suddenly called him Fatty, he was so angry that his face darkened. Okay, let's start. I'll go first. Fatty glared coldly at Qin Feng and didn't continue to speak nonsense with him. He wanted Qin Feng to lose completely and drink until he died. Then, he'd throw him into the dumpster outside. May the two of us both be well? Cool. Fatty and Qin Feng each shouted a phrase one after the other. After seeing that a game was going on, other people surrounded them to join in on the excitement. Su Xiaobai and his lackeys originally thought Qin Feng didn't know how to play, so they were sure that he'd lose after 2 sayings. However, the two of them shouted over 10 sayings, yet Qin Feng still hadn't made a mistake. 7 fairies, 8 horses, 1 dragon. May the 3 stars shine over you. Qin Feng suddenly stopped. He looked at Fatty, who looked like he saw a ghost, and asked with suspicion. Fatty, you seem to have shouted incorrectly at first. I don't really know how to play this game, so if I'm wrong, you have to remind me. If you're wrong, you can't just trick me and get away with it. Fatty was stunned, and so were the 4 males behind him. Fatty was the best at playing the guessing game between the 5 of them. Very few people among classmates his age were worthy opponents of his. Thus, Su Xiaobai had Fatty come out first. He wanted to quickly annihilate Qin Feng immediately and gain face. However, Fatty actually lost. Even the girls had trouble believing the scene before them. They all thought it was Qin Feng's first time playing the number guessing game. They couldn't really accept the fact that someone who hadn't even completely understood the rules could directly win over the number guessing game expert Fatty. Haha, I really did lose. I'll drink. Fatty regained his senses with great difficulty. He picked up a cup of beer from the table and drank it down. Once Fatty put down the cup of beer, he lifted both fists and said to Qin Feng, Come on, let's continue. Qin Feng had just won, but Fatty clearly couldn't accept this. He was certain Qin Feng won due to good luck or a fluke. He immediately restarted the ma and was set on ruthlessly slapping Qin Feng in the face. Cool. 8 horses. Aya, Fatty, you're letting me win on purpose, aren't you? How could you make a mistake right after we started? Fatty made a mistake right from the beginning in the second phrase. Fatty's entire face already turned cold. He wordlessly picked up a cup of beer, drank it, and wanted to continue with the game. 1 dragon. May the 3 stars shine over you. Drink, Fatty. You have to drink again. Ever since the first time Fatty lost, everything spiraled out of control and he kept losing. The more he lost, the more unstable his mood became. In the end, once he made a move, he made a mistake. And once he made a mistake, he had to drink. This was repeated 20-something times and Fatty couldn't drink anymore. He made an excuse to get up and go to the restroom. In reality, he secretly ran to the restroom to cry because he made a complete fool of himself. Once Fatty left, the remaining 4 people didn't know what to say. They suggested the number guessing game, and now that Fatty left, the remaining 4 were sure to be next to go against Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng even won against the guessing game expert Fatty, so how could the other 4 have the guts to play with Qin Feng? Even if they were stupider than they currently were, they'd understand that there was no way Qin Feng didn't know how to play the game. This brat was just faking it and was now blatantly showing off. That fatty left for so long. Why isn't he back yet? Why don't one of you continue playing? I suddenly feel that this guessing game is pretty fun. The four across from him said nothing, and Qin Feng took the initiative to speak with a laugh. These four immediately scooted away and expressed that they had no interest in playing the number guessing with Qin Feng. What are you afraid of? This is my first time playing. I really don't even know how to play, Qin Feng said while his gaze swept over the four people. Though the four said nothing, they internally cursed Qin Feng several times. They suddenly realized that in front of Qin Feng, any shamelessness they learned previously was superficial. We've already played the guessing game at first, and it's kind of pointless. Why don't we play a more interesting game called the dice rolling game? Su Xiaobai suddenly spoke and prepared to switch to another game. Su Xiaobai was very skilled at throwing dice, and he learned it from the professionals at the casino. Currently, he could roll 9 big numbers every 10 rolls. What that meant was that in 10 rolls, he could roll a number over 9 times. Dice rolling? I also don't know this game. How do you play? Qin Feng said with a smile. Now, every time Qin Feng said he didn't know how to play, Su Xiaobai and his men didn't directly believe him. Their gazes preserved a slightly guarded look towards Qin Feng. However, Su Xiaobai was very confident in his dice-throwing skills. Even if Qin Feng played this before, Su Xiaobai wouldn't be afraid. At this time, he already took out the die and tossed it. I'll go first. You can just want to see how I play and follow. While speaking, the die in Su Xiaobai's hands was already thrown out. It fell onto the glass table and spun quickly. Slowly, the die stopped. After turning a good number of times, it stopped at 5. 5. Big Brother Xiaobai really is amazing. He could just casually roll and it's a large number. Awesome, awesome. Big Brother Xiaobai is the best. Haha, this time, I don't believe this brat can still win. Unless he stepped on dog shit right when he walked out the door. Su Xiaobai's 3 lackeys shouted excitedly. They had expressions that said Qin Feng didn't need to throw the dice and already lost. Chapter 226. Chapter 226, All Sixes. The die's largest number was a 6. 5 was considered a large number, and when Su Xiaobai rolled, it was a 5. No wonder they were all so excited. However, after Qin Feng saw the 5, he smiled and shook his head. There was no nervousness or fear on his face. He picked up the die, looked at Su Xiaobai, and said, "Pretty boy, if I roll a 6, then I beat you." Qin Feng gave Fatty a nickname, so to be fair, he also gave Su Xiaobai a nickname. However, these two clearly didn't like Qin Feng making up names for them. Su Xiaobai's originally fair and clear face darkened. You think it's that easy to roll a 6? How laughable. Su Xiaobai glared at Qin Feng disdainfully. The way Qin Feng spoke earlier made it seem as though it was easy to roll a 6, and this made Su Xiaobai and his lackeys unhappy. I think it's really easy, Qin Feng said with a smile. I've seen some arrogant people, but I haven't seen someone as ignorant and arrogant as you. Since you're so cocky, do you have the guts to play with me and see who can roll the highest number? Su Xiaobai asked Qin Feng while looking at him with disdain. What's there to be afraid of? Qin Feng countered with a smile. Okay, then let's play big. If you roll a 6 this time, I'll drink 6 cups of beer. If you don't get a 6, then you drink 6 cups. Su Xiaobai was thoroughly angered by Qin Feng. He thought he was the saint of acting grand, but today he found someone who surpassed him in acting skills. To protect his name, Su Xiaobai was prepared to stake everything against Qin Feng. Do we really have to do this? I feel like it's a bit unfair, Qin Feng said a bit apprehensively. If you think it's unfair to you, then don't lie. And if you don't have the guts, don't be cocky. You'll only be a joke in the end. Su Xiaobai glared disdainfully at Qin Feng. It wasn't only Su Xiaobai who felt this way. Everyone sitting there thought this game was unfair to Qin Feng. It was Qin Feng's first time playing this game, so how could he roll a 6 right away? That would be completely based on luck. The odds of Qin Feng rolling a 6 was 1 in 6, and the odds of rolling anything else was 5 in 6. Calculated this way, Qin Feng only had 1/6 of a chance at winning, while Su Xiaobai had 5/6 of a chance. This was 5 times Qin Feng's probability of winning. This game was clearly unfair to Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng didn't think this way. He already opened his mouth indifferently. Pretty boy, I think you're mistaken. I think this game is a bit unfair to you. Crack. Once Qin Feng said this, everyone gaped. They really didn't know where Qin Feng got his confidence. Even Lu Xiaojia looked at him with doubt and amazement. Regarding the number-guessing game earlier, as long as your brain was agile and your reaction speed was fast, you could take hold of a win. However, this die-rolling game seemed to be based on luck. No matter how good Qin Feng's luck was, could he roll a 6 so easily? Big Brother Feng, do you want to consider this a bit more? Lu Xiaojia couldn't really continue weighing. She tugged on Qin Feng's arm and warned him quietly. This subtle movement was captured by Su Xiaobai, and he was so angry that he slammed his hand on the table and yelled, "Your elder doesn't think this game is unfair to me. Let's cut the talk. Hurry up and begin rolling the die." "All right, then I won't go easy on you." Qin Feng looked at Su Xiaobai with a happy smile and extended the die in his hand towards Lu Xiaojia. He said to her, "Xiaojia, you're my goddess of luck tonight. Blow some fairy breath here, and this die will roll out a 6. Big Brother Feng, I'm afraid blowing on it won't help." Lu Xiaojia looked shyly at Qin Feng. "Just blow and we'll find out whether or not it's useful." Qin Feng continued to speak. Lu Xiaojia hesitated, then pursed her lips and blew into Qin Feng's hand. Qin Feng immediately grasped the die in his hand and said earnestly, "Next is the time to witness a miracle." As he spoke, he tossed the die in his hand. The die fell onto the table and began to spin rapidly. However, it continuously spun on the table on one point and didn't move in any other direction. This was because Qin Feng also specifically learned this die game, so his control was extremely meticulous. One could tell just from the way the die balanced, moved, and spun after it fell on the table that Qin Feng's technique was superior. Clang! The die spun for close to half a minute before it came to a stable stop. 6 blinding red dots fell into their gazes. It was not any more or less, it was exactly 6. Everyone gasped as they were once again startled by Qin Feng's mysterious abilities. On the other hand, Su Xiaobai was pitifully pale. He was so angry that he couldn't speak. "Wow, it really is a 6. Big Brother Feng, it really is a 6. Lu Xiaojia was the most excited because this was the die on which she blew her fairy breath. And her fairy breath seemed effective because Qin Feng really did roll a 6. Of course, a die that little sister Xiaojia blew her fairy breath on has to roll a 6. Qin Feng patted Lu Xiaojia's lovely raven hair and smiled as he spoke. "Pretty boy, 6 cups of beer. If you can't drink it all, I'll help you." No one had yet come back to their senses from their shock when Qin Feng already began telling Su Xiaobai to drink. "No need." Su Xiaobai glared coldly at Qin Feng. Even if his stomach bled, he wouldn't let Qin Feng help him. This was a matter of face. Under the surveillance of the audience, Su Xiaobai downed 6 cups of beer in a row and drank them gulp by gulp. Su Xiaobai's alcohol tolerance was much worse than Qin Feng's. After he ingested 6 cups of beer, his face became slightly flushed and his words slurred a bit. "Brat, do you have the guts to try again? Still rolling die, still a 6, and still the same rules." Su Xiaobai was infuriated by Qin Feng. He didn't believe that Qin Feng could really control the die, and believed that Lu Xiaojia's breath caused the 6 even less. He felt that the 6 was merely due to Qin Feng's luck. "AI, as an upstanding and kind person, I won't play this unfair game too much. However, seeing how much fun you're having and that you're crying, making a fuss, and begging for me to play with you, then I'll reluctantly accept," Qin Feng said with seriousness. Su Xiaobai's lips tweed, and he said unhappily, "When did I cry, make a fuss, or beg you?" Qin Feng's expression was one of suspicion. "You didn't? Then forget it. I won't play anymore." Su Xiaobai immediately felt a stab of pain, and he almost spit out a mouthful of blood. He clenched his teeth, was quiet for a bit, then spoke. I did. Hurry and roll the die. Qin Feng thought Su Xiaobai's stormy expression was funny. He picked up the die on the table again and said to Lu Xiaojia, "My goddess of luck, give me another puff of fairy breath." Lu Xiaojia was a little shy to be called a goddess of luck by Qin Feng in front of so many people. She blushed and nodded, then blew a fairy breath into Qin Feng's hand. However, even Lu Xiaojia didn't believe the 6 was related to her breath. She only felt that Qin Feng had good luck. After blowing, she smiled and said, "Big brother Feng, this time it won't be certain that you'll roll a 6, so don't expect too much." "How could that be? Little sister Xiaojia is the goddess of luck, so whenever you blow, it's useful." Qin Feng laughed, waved his hand, and the die fell onto the table and spun. When everyone's gazes were focused on the spinning die and waiting for it to stop, Qin Feng had a lascivious smile and peeked covertly at the provocatively dressed beauties on the dance floor. He didn't even care about the die because 5 years ago, he could already roll a 6 with every roll. This game was child's play to Qin Feng. "6, it's 6 again," someone suddenly shouted in shock. The die already stopped and fell with 6 dots on top without suspense. Everyone's expressions changed. They were much more startled than the first time Qin Feng rolled a 6. If one were to say that Qin Feng's prior result was due to luck, then how would they explain this result? Their gazes fell on Lu Xiaojia's face in unison and began to wonder if Lu Xiaojia really was the goddess of luck. The goddess of luck. Lu Xiaojia couldn't help but shout, "How mysterious! It's too mysterious." She excitedly hugged Qin Feng's arm, and her body shook uncontrollably. Qin Feng felt a softness brush his arm several times, and it felt really great. Impossible. How is that possible? This is too fucking strange. After seeing the 6 blinding red dots, Su Xiaobai roared internally. He couldn't accept this reality. After all, he had prepared to slap Qin Feng's face with his 4 lackeys tonight. As a result, he was getting slapped resoundingly by Qin Feng right now. "Aya, how could a 6 come up on top again? I'm a little embarrassed to win again. I was originally thinking how good it would be if I lost a round. AI, one's strength doesn't mar one's ambitions." Qin Feng saw the 6 dots on the table and smiled casually. "That's right. Pretty boy, it seems that you lost again, so you have to drink 6 more cups of beer. Forget it. Forget it. Don't drink this time. It seems that you're reaching your alcohol limit, so if you drink any more, you'll get drunk." What men hate the most is being told they can't drink. This is particularly true of students still in school like Su Xiaobai. "Who said I can't drink? Your elder is going to drink right now." Su Xiaobai endured the uncomfortable churning in his stomach, lifted 6 cups of beer from the table, and began to drink wildly. After the 6 cups were ingested, he felt his whole body become light and airy. However, he still maintained consciousness and glared at Qin Feng. "Brat, would you dare go another round? Still dice, still a 6. Su Xiaobai completely gave his all against Qin Feng. He still didn't believe in this demon. Qin Feng was shocked by Su Xiaobai's behavior. He thought to himself, so there are still these kinds of idiots in the world. However, if I lose this time, my friends will drink 6 cups of beer for me, Su Xiaobai suddenly added. The expressions of his 3 lackeys darkened. They thought to themselves, "Bro, if you're going to be crazy, can you not drag us into it?" Though they endlessly complained internally, they didn't dare disobey their boss's words, so they could only stand up one by one. "I don't mind," Qin Feng said casually. "We don't mind either." Su Xiaobai's 3 lackeys gritted their teeth and responded. Thus, Qin Feng picked up the die again, had Lu Xiaojia blow a fairy breath onto it, tossed it, and said, "Don't be in a hurry. I'm going to roll 3 times at once. If it's a 6 all 3 times, each of you 3 will drink 6 cups. You'll each have companions, and it'll be more flavorful to drink." Once they heard Qin Feng's words, these 3 lackeys protested inwardly. They looked as though they were doomed to drink 6 cups of beer, and their expressions were as ugly as if they had eaten shit. 6. Still 6. Fuck, how is it 6 again? Lu Xiaojia blew on the die for all 3 rolls, and each time, a 6 ended up on top. When the four girls saw this, they were so shocked, they were speechless. Lu Xiaojia was so excited that her face flushed. If no one else was there, she would have pounced on Qin Feng, pushed him over, and harshly kissed his face once to express her joy. At this time, Su Xiaobai was so angry that he wanted to kill someone. He even picked up the die and examined it in detail. The die couldn't have a 6 on all sides, right? However, after earnestly looking it over once, Su Xiaobai realized that there was absolutely nothing wrong with the die. This Qin Feng was clearly a freak. I'm really sorry. I originally really didn't want to toss a 6, but even when I rolled casually, it was a 6. I'm a little apologetic. When Qin Feng saw that Shi Xiaobai and all his men looked like they had eaten shit, Qin Feng laughed and said, forget it. Don't drink the beer. We came here to have fun and celebrate Xiaojia's birthday. We're all friends, so there's no need to care about face like usual. Plus, even if it's embarrassing, no outsider would see it. Qin Feng said Xiaobai's 3 lackeys shouldn't drink. But once these words were spoken, the 3 lackeys felt that they had to finish the 6 cups of draft beer, even if they drank themselves to death. The 3 clinked their glasses and drank down cup after cup. After each drank 6 cups of beer, the 3 of them felt the need to vomit, so they covered their mouths and ran away. Hey, where are you 3 going? Why are you running away once I come back? At this time, Fatty had just returned from the restroom. He didn't know about the die rolling and shouted when he saw the 3 people rush away. Fatty, bring everyone to sit in the room we reserved. I have to go to the restroom as well, and I'll look for you in the room later. At this time, Su Xiaobai was in no mood to stay, so he found an excuse to leave. He left the VIP table and walked toward the large dance floor because he saw a familiar face there. This person was older brother Buckteeth, a big hooligan who played in the streets. When Su Xiaobai saw big brother Buckteeth, the dark expression he had all night finally relaxed. He was prepared to get big brother Buckteeth to help him take care of Qin Feng. Chapter 227. Chapter 227, Heartbeat. Big brother Buckteeth, you're here to have fun tonight as well. Su Xiaobai walked onto the dance floor, twisted his body to the rhythm of the music, arrived beside Buckteeth, and greeted him with a smile. So it's Xiaobai. You students have quite a nightlife nowadays. Did you bring schoolgirls to play with again? When Buckteeth saw Su Xiaobai, he grinned vulgarly. The two had met while clubbing at the Fei Tian bar. Su Xiaobai's family had some money, and he met brother Buckteeth often and bought him and his brothers drinks. Gradually, the two of them became friends at a mercenary level. I'm here to celebrate a classmate's birthday tonight. Su Xiaobai first made some small talk with Buckteeth, then got to the real business. Big brother Buckteeth, want to bring your brothers to sit in our room? Are there a lot of schoolgirls there? Buckteeth smiled readily, revealing a mouth full of rotten yellow teeth. 5 female students came tonight. One of them is a girl I have my sights on, but the other 4 you are free to play with, big brother Buckteeth. Su Xiaobai tossed some bait and continued to speak. However, the girl I have my sights on brought a man, and he isn't easy to deal with. Can you help step in for me and ruthlessly clean up the stinking brat, big brother Buckteeth? It would be best if you could beat him up and send him running. Once Buckteeth heard that there were schoolgirls to hit on, that he could drink all he wanted for free in Su Xiaobai's reserved room, and that he only needed to take care of one person, of course he was happy. He immediately agreed. Cleaning up people is your big brother Buckteeth's specialty. Let's go. Your big brother will stand up for you and kill this blind, stinking brat. Okay, then sorry to trouble you, big brother Buckteeth. After big brother Buckteeth agreed, Su Xiaobai's face was immediately filled with smiles. When he had seen big brother Buckteeth fight at the Fei Tian bar before, big brother Buckteeth seemed so fierce. Big brother Buckteeth had been alone, holding an empty beer bottle, smashing the heads of 3 strong men, and making them bleed. Also, big brother Buckteeth seemed to know Fei Tian bar's boss. Su Xiaobai was sure that if big brother Buckteeth stood up for him, even 10 Qin Fengs would be inadequate. Why are you so polite with your big brother Buckteeth? Buckteeth sent a couple of glances around the dance floor, took Su Xiaobai's arm, and walked off the dance floor. Xiaobai, are the girls you brought tonight decent-looking? Once Buckteeth walked off, four lackeys immediately followed behind him. Don't worry, big brother Buckteeth, they're all middle school girls, and they're each fresher than the next, Su Xiaobai said with a smile. Good man. Then let's hurry and go to the private room. We don't want to keep those little girls waiting. Fei Tian Bar, a grand private room. At this time, Fatty brought Qin Feng and the rest inside. Qin Feng and the 5 girls sat in a row, talking and laughing. Fatty sat alone on another sofa. He was so angry that his face was ferocious and trembled continuously. Xiaojia, do you really need to stick by your precious uncle for 24 hours? I just say a couple of things to him, and you glare at me. Xiaojia, you value your lover more than your friends. Chen Meihan laughed and teased Lu Xiaojia when she saw her tightly cluing Qin Feng's arm. Tonight Qin Feng showed a startling alcohol tolerance and mysterious number-guessing and die-rolling abilities. These 4 girls were fickle when it came to love, and their hearts rippled. Plus, Qin Feng was handsome to begin with, and his aura was unordinary, so the 4 girls chatted him up unconsciously or otherwise. Originally, no one knew Qin Feng, and tonight he suddenly became the focal point. This situation worried Lu Xiaojia a little. She was worried Qin Feng's resistance to their enticement would be too low, and he'd be tricked away by those sisters of hers. When did I value a lover more than my friends? Don't keep talking to Big Brother Feng. Isn't Fatty sitting there? You all usually love sticking with Fatty. Lu Xiaojia pouted and purposely leaned into Qin Feng's embrace as she spoke without showing weakness. The 4 girls instinctively looked toward Fatty. Fatty immediately sat up straight and shot a sweet smile at the 4 girls. Aya, Fatty is our good sister, and we can only talk to him and pass him off as a man when there aren't men around. Tonight, there's a handsome uncle, so who'd want to continue listening to him boast blindly? Chun Mei Han also pouted and acted cute. The other 3 girls immediately nodded and approved of Chun Mei Han's words. One after the other, they also made their cutest expressions at Qin Feng. Fatty had just sat up, but he instantly fell limp. The forced smile on his face suddenly froze. He felt as though he was suddenly shot in the chest with an arrow. Qin Feng was surrounded by all kinds of flowers, and every flower was budding and underripe. He lifted his hand, then put it back down as he struggled to decide whether or not he wanted to touch the bodies of these middle schoolers and concern himself with their health and their physical development. Xiaojia, where is your relationship with that uncle of yours at? Chun Mei Han sat beside Qin Feng. Her gaze inadvertently fell on Qin Feng's hand, and she shouted in surprise. Due to the sound, the other 3 girls and Fatty looked over, and their expressions instantly changed drastically. They discovered that Qin Feng's hand was on Lu Xiaojia's long and fair leg beneath her skirt. It's a habit, it's a habit. Qin Feng reacted, immediately pulling his hand away and smiling awkwardly at the spectators. He was used to touching Su Ruoro's thigh at work, so he couldn't help but touch Lu Xiaojia's leg. In retrospect, the little girl's skin was soft and tender and felt like water. Habit. When Chun Mei Han and the rest heard Qin Feng's explanation, their mouths suddenly tweaked. They had weird looks on their faces and reconsidered Qin Feng and Lu Xiaojia. They clearly misunderstood them. At this time, they made guesses. The 2 of them couldn't have slept together already, could they? I'm going to sing. Lu Xiaojia didn't understand how the word habit could have come out of Qin Feng's mouth. She was so embarrassed that she wanted to find a hole and hide in it. However, Lu Xiaojia didn't explain. She shyly stood and ran to the song selection machine to choose a song. Lu Xiaojia was publicly acknowledged as the school's goddess of song. Her voice was clear and sweet, and there usually were very few opportunities to hear her sing. Now that Lu Xiaojia took the initiative and offered to sing a song, the 4 other girls in the room fell quiet and waited to listen carefully to Lu Xiaojia's moving singing voice. The upcoming song, Heartbeat, is for the unordinary you on this unordinary night. Lu Xiaojia quickly chose a song and glanced a bit shyly toward Qin Feng, then glued her eyes to the lyric prompter in preparation for singing earnestly. Her words were originally meant to thank Qin Feng for suddenly appearing and saving her the night she was kidnapped, but the four girls and Fatty clearly misinterpreted her words. You want to argue with me, but I'm not that bored. You don't know how to apologize, and I'm not that smart. I really want to return to our starting point. But in spite of myself, it has appeared in my chest. How many question marks can we fit into two hearts? How many tears does love make us cry? Your eyes are filled with beauty. It takes away my heartbeat. Your gentleness is so close. It takes away my heartbeat. Reverse time to the beginning. Can I get 1 second? The graceful melody and clear and sweet sound made the audience in the private room fall quiet. The noisy music outside and the wild, out-of-control crowd seemed disconnected from them. Time stopped and only heartbeats remained. The dusk-yellow lights fell on Lu Xiaojia's delicate and charming face, and she brimmed with youth. Qin Feng could clearly see Lu Xiaojia's features, her eyebrows, eyelashes, and even every little hair on her face. When Lu Xiaojia took breaths in between lines, every time her chest rose and fell, her breaths produced fragrant air. The soft pink tongue revealed when she opened her mouth. There were still a lot of underripe and enchanting parts and feelings that were brought over by the song Heartbeat. They passed into Qin Feng's body like the sounds of nature and slowly melted him. Qin Feng's gaze was glued to Lu Xiaojia. He had the urge to rush onto the stage and hug her tightly, then kiss her passionately under the soft light and beautiful melody. This feeling was extremely intriguing. It made Qin Feng relive the taste of youth and his first love. Bang! The door to the private room was suddenly kicked open, and the lovely atmosphere was similarly shattered. Su Xiaobai walked in first, and 5 young hooligans around 24 or 25 years old followed behind him. Your eyes are filled with beauty. It takes away my heartbeat. Your gentleness is so close. It takes away my heartbeat. Reverse time to the beginning. Can I get 1 second? Lu Xiaojia's singing was too enchanting. She ignored the sudden intrusion and remained standing on the stage with her eyes closed as she sang softly. Buck Teeth and his 4 lackeys that had just entered stopped abruptly. Their gazes turned to the stage in unison and onto the body of Lu Xiaojia, who stood under the light. The eyes of the 5 men instantly gleamed. She wore a white dress shirt, short flowery skirt, thin and slender legs with rainbow socks. Her body was slender, straight, and full. A yellow camisole could be seen faintly beneath the white shirt, forming a youthful and attractive form. Lu Xiaojia's raven black, supple, and evenly cut short hair fit her cute and lively personality very well. Her high-nose bridge made her look multiracial, and her long and thick black eyelashes fluttered in the light, and her every blink tugged on Buck Teeth's and his men's heartbeats. At their first glance of Lu Xiaojia, the 5 men only had one urge, to get on her, ruthlessly get on her. Brother Xiaobai, you're back. Fatty immediately stood in greeting when he saw Su Xiao by return bringing other people. At this time, not only were Buckteeth and his men entranced by Lu Xiaojia's singing, Su Xiaobai was also in a daze. Su Xiaobai only came to when he heard Fatty shout. He laughed awkwardly. "Haha, I bumped into a familiar face on the dance floor. Let me introduce him to everyone. This is Big Brother Buckteeth. He's a big brother with power in Acropolis. These are my classmates. We're here to celebrate Lu Xiaojia's birthday, and she's the one singing on stage." Su Xiaobai first introduced Lu Xiaojia, the girl he had his sights on, to Buckteeth. What he meant was, other than this girl, you can play with the rest however you like. A coldness flashed across his face. He pointed at Qin Feng and said, "Big Brother Buckteeth, this is the friend Lu Xiaojia brought. In a bit, play with him well." Su Xiaobai had a playful smile as he spoke. Buckteeth's gaze had already fallen on Qin Feng. He noticed that Qin Feng was tall, skinny, fair, and soft, and looked like a pushover that couldn't fight, so he didn't care about Qin Feng. His gaze returned to the singing Lu Xiaojia on stage. "Xiaobai, this is the girl you've set your sights on tonight? She's awesome." Buckteeth rubbed his chin, and a slight and unconcealed vulgar gaze arose in his eyes. When he saw Lu Xiaojia singing and dancing on stage, he wanted to rush up, press her onto the stage, and play with her harshly. Big Brother Buckteeth, this girl is our school's #1 beauty, and I've waiting 3 years to take her. I have to get her tonight, no matter what. Su Xiaobai didn't notice yet that Big Brother Buckteeth had taken a liking to Lu Xiaojia. At this time, he covertly pointed at the 4 girls sitting on the sofa and smiled. Big Brother Buckteeth, those 4 schoolgirls are also pretty good. You can choose. Chapter 228. Chapter 228. Older brother is an islander. After Su Xiaobai introduced everyone, Big Brother Buckteeth and his men sat on the sofa in succession. At this time, Su Xiaobai's lackeys, who had gone to the restroom to vomit, came back as well. The private room was instantly filled, and it was clearly much more boisterous. Lu Xiaojia finished singing Heartbeat, and she had sung so earnestly that she hadn't noticed Buckteeth and his men. After getting off the stage and noticing 5 additional people in the private room, she was a bit shy. She lowered her head and walked to Qin Feng's side. She neared him and quietly sat down. Bravo, bravo. Your singing is too good. Lu Xiaojia had just sat down when Buckteeth clapped and gave a toothy grin. He said to Lu Xiaojia, Beauty, you have a heavenly voice. You've wronged your talent by not becoming a singer. My name is Wang He. The people in the streets call me Brother Buckteeth. It's an honor to meet a beauty like you. Come, let's have a drink. Buckteeth raised 2 cups of beer and extended one toward Lu Xiaojia, as if he was prepared to begin picking her up. This scene stunned Su Xiaobai. He purposely told Big Brother Buckteeth about Lu Xiaojia earlier. Could Big Brother Buckteeth have mistaken her for someone else? My apologies, I don't drink. Lu Xiaojia didn't know Buckteeth, so how would she drink with him? She waved her hands in rejection. Buckteeth's expression dropped slightly, and he said with some unhappiness, Little beauty, what do you mean by this? Are you looking down on me, Big Brother Buckteeth? I'll have you know that this big brother isn't just boasting in front of you. My name is famous far and wide in the streets, and my power can cover the sky. I'm a big deal. Lu Xiaojia couldn't take it when she saw Big Brother Buckteeth's mouth full of yellow teeth and smelled the stench of his breath as he spoke. She didn't know how to refuse Buckteeth. Just then, she felt a pair of large hands lightly tug her behind a body to shield her. Afterward, she heard Qin Feng's calm voice. Brother Big Yellow Teeth, we don't see many islanders in society anymore. Could you tell me which island you live on? Fuck. What did you call your elder? Stinking brat? Buckteeth didn't care if Qin Feng asked about some island or street. Once he heard Qin Feng call him Big Yellow Teeth, Buckteeth was so angry that he jumped up. You're saying that your elder has big yellow teeth? Look here. Are my teeth yellow? Wang He opened his mouth and stared at Qin Feng with extreme seriousness. Since he had a mouth full of buck teeth, he was nicknamed Big Brother Buckteeth. Wang He didn't really accept the nickname, but after his brothers called him this so many times, he could only quietly accept it. Now, once Qin Feng stepped in, he directly shouted the ruthless nickname Big Yellow Teeth. So how could Buckteeth not be angry? At this time, he wanted to smash a beer bottle on Qin Feng's head. Chinese people are all creatures with a strong sense of curiosity. When Buckteeth opened his mouth to exhibit his teeth, all the people in the private room looked over. They all didn't know what to say when they saw Buckteeth's extremely crooked and rotten teeth that were turning a bit black. Qin Feng also looked earnestly at Buckteeth's teeth, then shook his head and said seriously, I'm really sorry. Looks like I really did see wrongly at first. Big Black Teeth, you still haven't responded to my question. Which island do you live on? Big Black Teeth? Pfft. After hearing Qin Feng's new nickname for Big Brother Buckteeth, the spectators suppressed their laughter with all their might until their faces turned completely red. Even Buckteeth's 4 lackeys were tickled by Qin Feng. Qin Feng's nickname described their boss's teeth too accurately. Stinking brat, I'm warning you. You better not speak so carelessly. When this elder gets mad, even I get afraid. Buckteeth glared coldly at Qin Feng. Then, he suddenly thought of Su Xiaobai's assignment. Other than coming to pick up girls, it just so happened that he also had to harshly teach this brat Qin Feng a lesson. At this time, Buck Teeth already put on a fierce expression. He looked disdainfully at Qin Feng and asked, "Stinking brat, which street do you hang out on?" "I don't live on the island, but I know two friends that hang out on the island," Qin Feng said with a light smile. Buckteeth was trying to figure out Qin Feng's background, so when he heard that Qin Feng knew people on the streets, his expression changed slightly. He feigned nonchalance and said, "So you also have friends on the streets, brat? Why don't you tell me who? Maybe I've hung around with your friends before." "I don't think so." Qin Feng shook his head and said, "My two friends are long-term inhabitants of the island and live reclusive lives. Even if I told you, you might not know them. One is called Guo Jing, and the other is called Huang Rong." "That's right. I'm not sure if you've heard of the island they live on, Brother Big Black Teeth. It's called Peach Blossom Island," Qin Feng said while looking at Buckteeth with seriousness. All the people in the room suddenly forgot to breathe. They stared stupidly at Qin Feng and thought about what he said. Very soon, someone understood. Qin Feng was intentionally teasing Buckteeth. He swayed hanging out on the streets into hanging out on the island. A couple of seconds later, laughter arose in the private room. They couldn't hold it in any longer. "What are you laughing at? What the fuck is so funny?" Buckteeth was the last one to regain his senses, and once he did, he burst out yelling. When the private room fell quiet again, Buckteeth glared fiercely at Qin Feng and shouted, "Stinking brat, you have the fucking guts to mess with your elder? Let me show you the consequences of messing with your elder." Buckteeth was extremely angry about actually being played by a 20-year-old brat. He picked up an empty beer bottle and aimed at Qin Feng's head. "Ah, big brother Feng, be careful." Lu Xiaojiao was sitting beside Qin Feng and was so frightened that she covered her mouth and shrieked. Bang! The empty bottle fell, producing a large crunch. However, it didn't fall on Qin Feng's head. It smashed directly into Buckteeth's forehead. The beer bottle shards covered the ground. Some small pieces of glass stuck to the top of Buckteeth's head, and streaks of blood already began flowing down his forehead. "Stinking brat, now do you know how amazing your elder is? If you dare provoke your elder again, I'll kill you." Buckteeth didn't realize what happened because he was certain he'd smashed the bottle toward Qin Feng. He didn't know the bottle ended up falling on his own head, so he was there hooting at Qin Feng. This scene shocked all of the people in the private room. In particular, Lu Xiaojia's classmates who saw Buckteeth for the first time got to expand their horizons today. So the bosses on the streets used self-damaging methods to scare other people. "Io, why does my head hurt a bit? Fuck, whose fucking blood is this?" Over 10 seconds after the bottle's impact, Buckteeth finally felt that something wasn't right. The gash on his forehead was quite severe, and he noticed the blood streaming down by his eyes. "Fuck, Tiger Cub Little 3, did you see who the fuck hit your elder at first? He smashed and damaged this elder's head, so I'm going to kill him." After confirming his head had been hit by someone, Buckteeth immediately pulled out a tissue and wiped his wound while shouting. His 4 lackeys looked at Buckteeth with strange expressions. They hesitated and wondered if they should tell their boss the truth. "Fuck your mom. It was you, wasn't it? You did it, you brat." Buckteeth quickly directed his anger back toward Qin Feng. The bottle was supposed to whack Qin Feng's head earlier, but Qin Feng was fine. On the other hand, his own head was split open. He finally understood what happened. "I didn't do anything. I was standing here the whole time," Qin Feng said and shrugged while looking at the malevolent Buckteeth. Buckteeth was also dubious because he hadn't seen Qin Feng move, yet his head was already broken. This was a huge embarrassment. Buckteeth couldn't care too much. He picked up another empty beer bottle and aimed at Qin Feng's head again. "Fuck your grandfather. Your elder said you moved, so you fucking moved. If you dare make a move on your elder, I'll let you know why flowers." Bang! Buckteeth hadn't finished shouting his insults when the sound of an empty beer bottle shattering was heard. Then, Buckteeth's howl of pain echoed in the room. The empty bottle in his hand smashed into his head once again. The audience gasped. This time, everyone paid attention to Big Brother Buckteeth's movements. They were certain that Qin Feng really didn't do anything. All they saw was that Buckteeth initially aimed at Qin Feng's head, but when he was not even 5 centimeters from Qin Feng's head, he suddenly swayed directions and fiercely whacked his own head. This frightening skill was truly an artistic achievement. The people present couldn't help but think that if they were the person standing across from Buckteeth, the instant they saw the empty beer bottle flying at them, they'd be sure to fall to their knees and beg for mercy. Brother Big Black Teeth, have you practiced acrobatics on the island? Your bottle-smashing skill is a real eye-opener. Qin Feng weighed the stunned Buckteeth and couldn't help but mock him. Of course he'd moved earlier, but he'd acted as quick as lightning, so normal people couldn't see it clearly. Haha, I did indeed learn some acrobatics in the past, and since I knew it was this little beauty's birthday tonight, I just showed a bit to everyone for some fun and to enliven the atmosphere. But this skill is something I practiced hard for 5, 6 years to obtain this result, so don't try and copy me. You all haven't gone through professional training, so if you hit your head directly, it'll break. Big Brother Buckteeth suddenly burst into laughter. He wasn't a fool. After getting attacked twice, he already noticed something was fishy. He knew Qin Feng must have done something in the middle. Otherwise, there was no way he could have attacked Qin Feng yet have the beer bottle end up hitting his own head. After these 2 instances, Buckteeth had a preliminary taste of Qin Feng's skills. This was clearly a very formidable opponent. Buckteeth had already decided to switch tactics. He couldn't face Qin Feng head-on, so he was prepared to use other methods to attack him and ruthlessly clean him up. Haha, Big Brother Buckteeth really is humorous. Don't be afraid, everyone. Big Brother Buckteeth was just joking with us. Come, let's give Big Brother Buckteeth a toast. He used his life to joke, so he's worth our respect. Su Xiaobai couldn't understand what Buckteeth was doing, but at this time, he took the initiative to form a compromise. The others slowly recovered from their astonishment. They all raised their glasses and drank a cup of beer together. After ingesting the alcohol, Buckteeth wiped his head clean of blood with a napkin. It was just a flesh wound, and it wasn't that serious. Little Beauty, did you like Big Brother's performance at first? After fixing up himself, Buckteeth returned his attentions to Liu Xiaojia. Having put on makeup tonight, Liu Xiaojia looked young and inexperienced with a hint of charm and allure. Any male who saw her would want to harshly love her. A vulgar and lascivious man like Buckteeth couldn't resist this kind of allure. It was okay. Liu Xiaojia replied faintly out of politeness. Buckteeth immediately smiled and leaned a bit closer to Liu Xiaojia after seeing that he was able to start a conversation with her. He raised a beer glass to her and said, "Little Beauty, you're really beautiful. Why don't you go for a walk with Big Brother, and I'll take you out for a spin later? What do you think? Did you see that black Lamborghini Batmobile parked at the door? That's the ride Big Brother drove here tonight. Do you know why the rich like driving this kind of convertible sports car?" Big Brother Buckteeth smiled vulgarly at Liu Xiaojia and said, "Because you can lie in the car for a joyride and shake the car as well." Chapter 229. Chapter 229. You cheated. Pfft. Liu Xiaojia was just in the middle of drinking orange juice. After she heard Buckteeth's words, she sprayed the mouthful of juice onto his face. The yellow liquid also contained plump pieces of fruit. The image was too beautiful. They all couldn't bear to keep weighing. Liu Xiaojia couldn't take it because Buckteeth's bullshitting technique was so skillful that he could forcibly lie about owning Qin Feng's car. The most crucial thing was that when he was bullshitting, he had a proper, serious, and earnest expression. Liu Xiaojia felt that Buckteeth thought his own words were the truth, so what other people thought didn't matter to him. Haha, it's okay. It's okay. You must have been startled after hearing that I drove a Lamborghini Batmobile worth over 10 million here tonight. Big Brother Buckteeth wasn't angry, even though his face was sprayed completely with juice, because Liu Xiaojia drank the juice, so it carried a fragrant smell. After discovering Buckteeth's shamelessness, Liu Xiaojia pursed her lips and didn't want to speak with him. It was clearly Big Brother Feng who drove the car over. Yet this person had to say it was his. He was really brazen. Wow, Big Brother Buckteeth really is amazing, driving a Lamborghini supercar. That's a car only a rich person could afford. Buckteeth's 4 lackeys all stood up and praised him. These 4 followed Buckteeth around all day, so how could they not know Buckteeth's background? How would he have the money to buy a Lamborghini? The van he drove here tonight was something he'd bought through clenched teeth a couple of days ago. Because the vehicle's quality was so low, he was too embarrassed to drive it in broad daylight. He only took it out for a spin in the dead of the night, when there weren't a lot of people around. You 4 brats just need to follow with me well in the future, and sooner or later there'll be a time when you'll be able to buy a sports car too. Buckteeth was very satisfied with the quick-wittedness of his 4 lackeys. They played along and acted quite convincingly. Liu Xiaojia's 4 female classmates began looking at Buckteeth with stars in their eyes. Big Brother Buckteeth, you really are young and promising. Can you take us to see this Lamborghini supercar later? I've only seen it in pictures on the internet, but I've really never seen one in person. Me too. Me too. In a bit, I want to sit in the Lamborghini, take pictures of myself, and send it to my friends. The 4 girls shouted and danced for joy. Buckteeth really enjoyed the feeling of this kind of bullshitting. He thumped his chest and promised solemnly, "That's simple enough. When we go outside later, you can all take turns taking pictures in the car. You can take them however you want. Don't be polite with your big brother Buckteeth. Right now, we're here to celebrate this little beauty's birthday, so let's drink to our heart's content. What do you all say?" Buckteeth had good control of the atmosphere. He boasted randomly and was able to win over 4 of the schoolgirls in the room. When Su Xiaobai and his lackeys saw this unique technique for picking up girls, they worshipped him to no end. "Little beauty, come, let's have a drink. This time, don't reject your big brother." Buckteeth took advantage of the heightened atmosphere and extended another cup of beer toward Liu Xiaojia. Liu Xiaojia saw that the others drank, so she couldn't find a reason to refuse. She was in the midst of hesitating and wondering what to do when Qin Feng took the cup of beer. "Brother Big Black Teeth, so you like drinking, huh? Then I'll drink with you. It just so happens that these little students can't drink. I'm really glad that someone that can drink is now here." Qin Feng held Liu Xiaojia's cup of beer and spoke while looking happily at Buckteeth. If he could, he would have used his tuft of red hair to skewer Qin Feng to death. "Stinking brat, are you ready? Can we start?" Coxcomb sat beside Qin Feng and glared coldly as he spoke. Yup. Qin Feng's expression chilled, and he suddenly became serious. "All right, then let's begin." With Coxcomb's command, Buckteeth turned earnest and was about to use all his strength to defeat Qin Feng instantly when he heard Qin Feng's sudden shout. "Wait, what now?" Coxcomb asked unhappily. "Brother Big Black Teeth, don't we need to trash-talk each other before we begin?" Qin Feng said while looking seriously at Buckteeth. Buckteeth's expression darkened. He wanted to rush up and use his crooked teeth to bite Qin Feng to death. He glanced coldly at Qin Feng and said, "No. Okay, I don't really know the rules, so I thought it would be better to clarify." Qin Feng nodded. When Coxcomb saw Qin Feng and Buckteeth ready again, he continued, Okay, the competition begins." He had just finished speaking when Qin Feng suddenly raised his hand and shouted, "Wait? Fuck, are you going to do this or not, brat? What is it now?" Coxcomb was helpless. "Brother Big Black Teeth, don't we need to use the restroom before the competition?" Qin Feng asked while looking seriously at Buckteeth. Buckteeth's cheeks chewed and he spoke with a steady expression. "No. Okay, it's my first time arm wrestling, and I don't really know the rules, don't take offense." The competition began anew, and Coxcomb's voice already became listless. "Are you both ready? Start." After he finished speaking, Bucktooth wasn't in a hurry to use his strength. Though he looked down on people that were slight such as Qin Feng, Buckteeth had been very serious when the competition was about to start the previous 2 times. Once Coxcomb shouted to begin, Buckteeth had begun to use this strength to try and directly defeat Qin Feng right away. However, after Qin Feng's 2 disruptions, Buckteeth was no longer enthusiastic about defeating Qin Feng. He even suspected Qin Feng was sure to find another excuse to stop the competition. Bam! A bang was suddenly heard. Buckteeth was still waiting unhappily for Qin Feng to yell stop, when he suddenly felt an enormous force pass from Qin Feng's arm. In the next second, his wrist was pressed unyieldingly onto the table. The instant kill scenario that he desired really occurred. However, the one who was instantly killed wasn't Qin Feng but him. Aya, brother Big Black Teeth, you were very clearly yielding to me, weren't you? I didn't even use any strength. How was it that you fell over? Qin Feng didn't forget to sprinkle salt into Buckteeth's wound after defeating him. Buckteeth was so angry that he was about to spit blood. He glared coldly at Qin Feng and yelled, "Stinking brat, why didn't you yell stop this time? You were cheating." All of the people present knew clearly whether or not Qin Feng cheated. Qin Feng's strategy was clearly disruption. Twice before, he used disruption to divert his opponent's attention, and the third time, he suddenly used his strength, caught Buckteeth unprepared, and won the arm wrestle effortlessly. This tactic was absolutely dirty and impossible to defend against. However, one couldn't point out Qin Feng's faults. Even if he had disturbed Buckteeth, all one could say was that Buckteeth's willpower wasn't firm enough. At least Qin Feng still used his arm strength to defeat Buckteeth in the end. I cheated? I didn't. Qin Feng looked innocently at Buckteeth and said, "Oh, I know. Brother Big Black Teeth, you just don't want to drink after you lost. So you're finding an excuse to say I cheated?" Qin Feng spoke with a look of sudden realization. All right, then even if I did cheat, isn't it just 1 bottle of beer? How about I drink it for Brother Big Black Teeth? Would that be fine? After seeing Qin Feng's convincing act, Buckteeth wanted to kill someone. As someone who hung around the streets, face was the most important to him, so how could he let Qin Feng drink for him? That was undisguised face slapping. Chapter 230. Chapter 230. Does this count as winning? It's just a bottle of beer. I, Big Brother Buckteeth, would need you to help me drink it? What a joke. Buckteeth glared harshly at Qin Feng. He picked up a bottle of beer beside him and drank it down. As expected, his alcohol tolerance was much better than that of students like Su Xiaobai. He drank quickly and fiercely, and after drinking 1 bottle of beer, he felt nothing at all. Bang! After drinking 1 bottle, Buckteeth grimly slammed the beer bottle on the table. He glared fiercely at Qin Feng and said coldly, "Stinking brat, you cheated during the contest at first and your elder is dissatisfied. Would you dare go another round with your elder?" "Go again? Why don't we forget about it? I really don't know how to arm wrestle," Qin Feng said while looking hesitantly at Buckteeth. "You're a man. Why are you so bashful? It's just arm wrestling. Look at how you're frightened like a woman." After seeing Qin Feng shrink back a bit, Buckteeth began to provoke Qin Feng. "Then, let's go another round?" Qin Feng suddenly smiled. "Let's go. We must go another round." "We can go another round, but we have to change the punishment." Qin Feng looked nonchalantly at Buckteeth and said, "Drinking a bottle of beer if you lose is too weak. Why don't we add more?" Buckteeth was certain that he lost the last round only because Qin Feng distracted him. Buckteeth was extremely self-confident about this next round. When he was on the streets those years ago, he had been pretty strong. At the very least, he could take care of a soft-skinned pretty boy like Qin Feng. Thus, once Qin Feng suggested strengthening the punishment, Buckteeth almost couldn't help but laugh aloud. He said immediately, Okay, if you lose this time, we'll make it 3 bottles. 3 bottles? Isn't that too little? Qin Feng said, shaking his head. Haha, it really is too little. How about this? Let's just make it 10 bottles. I'm only worried you wouldn't dare to do it. At this time, Buckteeth began questioning Qin Feng's intelligence. This brat was simply talking himself into trouble. Qin Feng glanced at the 5 packs of beer on the table. He pointed at them and said, "How about this? Whoever loses the arm wrestling ma this time must drink all 5 packs of beer." When Qin Feng said this, the spectators in the private room all gasped. They really couldn't guess what Qin Feng's intentions were. They wondered where this person got his confidence and what he really wanted to do. Su Xiaobai and his group, in particular, were people who had fallen at Qin Feng's hands, and they were definitely more vigilant against him. When they saw how calm and composed Qin Feng was, they were a bit worried for Buckteeth. "Big brother Buckteeth, we're all gathered here for some fun. I think we should forget about this punishment of 5 packs of beer." Su Xiaobai suddenly stepped in and urged Buckteeth. Although he also thought, based on appearances, that Big Brother Buckteeth had a better chance of winning the arm wrestling ma, there was a kind of nameless worry within him. Qin Feng was too strange. How could we forget about it? Buckteeth glared at Su Xiaobai unhappily. He wondered if this brat's head got smashed in a door and messed up. "You clearly brought over your elder to clean up Qin Feng, but you've been helping Qin Feng the whole night. Isn't this crazy? A promise from a man of character cannot be retracted. We absolutely can't just forget about it. Whoever loses this ma will drink 5 packs of beer. Whoever doesn't dare to do it is a coward, and whoever doesn't drink the beer is a bastard." Buckteeth had just lost to Qin Feng, so how could he let him off so easily? He was already prepared to fiercely slap Qin Feng in the face. With a wave of his large hand and boundless loftiness, he looked as though 14 horses couldn't deter him. "Okay, then that's the plan," Qin Feng replied very happily. The two held hands again and sat properly face to face. Coxcomb sat beside Qin Feng and continued to serve as a judge. "Stinking brat, if you have something to say it all now. When I yell, 'Start' later, the competition will begin officially. If you yell 'Stop' again, it won't count." Coxcomb was smarter this time after last time's lesson. He directly cut off Qin Feng's escape route for cheating. These words made Buckteeth beam with joy. He liked these 4 lackeys of his more and more. They were each cleverer than the last. Qin Feng didn't say anything, and Lu Xiaojia looked over worriedly. "Big brother Feng, why don't we forget about it? Let's not compete anymore." After hearing the loser would have to drink 5 packs of beer, she was so shocked that her expression changed. If Qin Feng really lost, then wouldn't he drink himself to death? "Xiaojia, don't worry. Just stand to the side and wah." Qin Feng finished speaking, and then he added, "It would be best if you could stand farther away." This was Qin Feng's second time reminding Lu Xiaojia to stand farther away. No one understood his meaning, not even Lu Xiaojia. Wasn't it just arm wrestling? Why should she stand far away? "We can start now, right?" Coxcomb asked coldly after waiting for the people in the room to quiet down. "Wait." Qin Feng suddenly waved his hand, looked at Buckteeth and said earnestly, "Brother Big Black Teeth, before this competition, do we want to set life or death conditions?" The strength Buckteeth had just mustered dissipated instantly. He said forcibly through clenched teeth, "No." He wanted to stab this brat Qin Feng blade by blade. Weren't they just arm wrestling? Was there a need to be so dramatic and set life or death conditions? Really? Qin Feng looked very serious. "Then should we first buy some insurance for your hand?" "No need." Buckteeth glared coldly at Qin Feng and then smiled thoughtfully. "Brat, if you still want to use this move to deceive your elder, I'd urge you to save it. This time, I absolutely will not fall into your trap." Qin Feng originally wanted to make these proposals to Buckteeth out of the goodness of his heart. When he saw how ungrateful Buckteeth was, he could only shake his head. He had external stage 3 abilities at the moment, and even if he didn't use his intermediate Thunder Tiger fists, his strength was 250 kilograms, 5 times a normal person's. He only had to use some strength, and he could instantly pinch Buckteeth's arm into powder. This brat still didn't want to buy insurance, so he was clearly treating his life like child's play. "Okay, then we can start," Qin Feng suddenly said. Buckteeth and Coxcomb let out a long breath. This Qin Feng was finally ready to begin. Coxcomb exchanged glances with Buckteeth. When he saw Buckteeth nod at him, he suddenly yelled, "Start." Once he spoke, Buck Teeth used all the strength in his body to try and instantly defeat Qin Feng. However, when he used all the strength he had from drinking milk, he found that Qin Feng's arm was a towering mountain that would not budge, no matter how much strength he used. At this time, Buck Teeth's face turned completely scarlet, his veins popped out of his forehead, and beads of sweat as large as beans dripped down. Then, he saw Qin Feng looking completely at ease. Qin Feng raised his crossed legs and smiled evilly at Buck Teeth. The two of them had polar opposite reactions. One was fighting for his life in deep distress, while the other looked like he was relaxing in a hot spring while being massaged by beautiful women. This difference stunned the audience, and they even began to wonder whether or not this was a battle of acting skills as opposed to an arm wrestling ma. Based on Buck Teeth's acting, he was a shoo-in for Best Actor at the Oscars. Just as the audience was astonished and trying to make sense of the situation, Qin Feng suddenly spoke, "Brother Big Black Teeth, has the competition begun?" Once he did, the audience was thunderstruck, and the corners of their mouths quirked upward. They felt that Buck Teeth's acting was a bit too exaggerated because Qin Feng didn't look like a really strong person. As a result, they found out that Qin Feng hadn't even started. So if he really used his strength, wouldn't he break Buck Teeth's arm? If the competition has begun, you have to tell me. I don't really know how to arm wrestle, and I don't know the rules. Don't defraud me. Qin Feng said with utter seriousness when he noticed that Buck Teeth said nothing. It's already started. Buck Teeth used all his strength and squeezed the words out through clenched teeth. It's already started? Then why aren't you using any strength, Brother Big Black Teeth? You can't let me win again. I'd feel very apologetic, Qin Feng said with a laugh. Big Black Teeth didn't even have the strength to get angry. He finally saw how strong Qin Feng was. Though this guy looked soft-skinned, he possessed extraordinary strength. No matter how much strength Buck Teeth used, it was useless against Qin Feng. Since the competition has begun, then I'll begin to use strength. Qin Feng's expression suddenly dropped, and he laughed coldly while looking at Buck Teeth. Brother Big Black Teeth, get ready. Qin Feng's smile was sinister and icy. It suddenly gave Buck Teeth an ominous feeling. Qin Feng had just finished speaking when he suddenly exerted his strength and burst out with 250 kilograms of power. Pop! Since 250 kilograms of strength was enormous, how could Buck Teeth's little elbow withstand it? The anger pinned up in his chest suddenly sank, and a mouthful of fresh blood sprayed Coxcomb's face, making Coxcomb extremely disgusted. As expected, Brother Big Black Teeth really was hiding a secret weapon. Good thing I dodged quickly. Otherwise, I would have been hit. Qin Feng laughed as he dodged this mouthful of black blood. He applied strength again. With a crisp ka-cha, the spectators were met with an extremely strange sight. They only saw Qin Feng snap Buck Teeth's wrist. His arm was still upright on the table, while his wrist and fist were pressed onto the table by Qin Feng. Huh. Brother Big Black Teeth, I don't really know how to play this arm wrestling game, and I don't know the rules. In this case, did I win? Qin Feng gave Buck Teeth's deformed wrist an indifferent look and asked doubtfully. Big Black Teeth looked at his broken arm, and his eyes were filled with shock and terror. He even forgot about the pain. Brother Big Black Teeth, why aren't you saying anything? Qin Feng suddenly and ruthlessly slapped Buck Teeth's broken arm. Buck Teeth immediately came back to his senses and pitifully wailed like a ghost and howled like a wolf. Ow. It hurts. It fucking hurts like hell. You actually dared to break this elder's wrist, brat? Brothers, hurry and cripple this brat. This elder wants to personally see his arms get broken. Since Qin Feng broke Buck Teeth's wrist, Buck Teeth shed all pretense and shouted at his 4 lackeys. These 4 people came back to their senses from the shock, hurriedly picked up empty beer bottles from the table, and pounced on Qin Feng. Stinking brat, you had the guts to hurt our big brother Buck Teeth? You must not want to be able to hang around in Acropolis anymore. Coxcomb was the closest to Qin Feng, and he was the first to raise an empty beer bottle and smash it toward Qin Feng. He had just been sprayed in the face with black blood, so he looked pretty frightening. Qin Feng curled his lips. Not waiting for Coxcomb to get closer, he delivered a flying kick that landed accurately on Coxcomb's stomach. An enormous force instantly passed through the lackey's abdomen, and in the next second, Coxcomb's whole body was sent flying. He crashed into the wall of the private room. The tremor knocked the clock off the wall. Chapter 231. Chapter 231. This is Boss Feng. Stinking brat, I'd advise you to hurry and tie your hands and prepare to be captured. When we three brothers get angry, even beasts are afraid of us. Once the remaining three lackeys saw Qin Feng kick Coxcomb, they suddenly stopped. They began to tremble internally, but still put up its strong and unperturbed front. By beasts, do you mean domestic birds? Qin Feng smiled at the three of them. Even if this older brother doesn't burst out in anger, common domestic fowl like chicken, ducks, and geese are afraid when they see me. A scholar prefers death over humiliation. These three lackeys could get beaten up by Qin Feng, but they couldn't tolerate Qin Feng's insults because there were a good number of little beauties in the private room weighing. Stinking brat, you want to get hit? The three of them held up empty beer bottles again and pounced at Qin Feng together. This time, Qin Feng took the initiative to meet the attack head-on. He lightly tapped his foot and arrived in front of one of them in the blink of an eye. He waved his hand and sent the man and his empty bottle flying. Bang! Qin Feng caught the flying empty bottle, turned his hand over, and ruthlessly smashed it on a second person's head. That lackey swayed a couple of times, then fell over. A fist and a bottle toppled two lackeys. The movements were quick, violent, and smooth. The third lackey didn't even see what happened clearly, and his two comrades fell. Now he was left to face Qin Feng alone. Qin Feng didn't need to do anything, yet the lackey's legs already turned to jelly. He directly sank to his knees in front of Qin Feng. Boss, why you can shame me, but please don't hit me, okay? After kneeling down, he began to beg for mercy. At this time, the door to the private room was suddenly smashed open. 5 or 6 strong men rushed in quickly. Once they entered, they stood in 2 lines. Then, a tall and sturdy man with long hair walked leisurely into the room. He faintly exuded the aggressiveness of a leader. Once long hair entered the room, his gaze swept indifferently within it. He opened his mouth to say, "What happened here? Why are you fighting on this elder's territory?" The man who entered was Long Hair, who managed the phone group. He was in the middle of monitoring the private room section when he heard intense fighting sounds coming from the room. Thus, he brought his men and they rushed in. When Buckteeth and his 4 lackeys saw Long Hair, they were so frightened that they wanted to die. They were all from the streets, so of course they had heard of the infamous Long Hair and his 2 brothers. Especially since these 3 became the top-ranked subject of the news in the Acropolis Underground recently, rumors about the 3 of them were everywhere. These 3 spent a month to form the phone group, a new power, and even took over the Wild Wolf Gang's territory in the Northern District. They were truly brave and scheming. The 3 brothers' positions developed, and they were now equals with the boss of the Wild Wolf Gang. This Feition bar was opened by the 3 brothers, and no one dared to cause trouble in their territory. Now that Long Hair personally came here to inquire about the situation, Buckteeth's teeth began to chatter. "Big brother Long Hair, and my brothers and I came here to buy things. That brat drank too much and wanted to take advantage of these little beauties, and I couldn't just stand there and wah, so I stood up to convince the brat not to do so. In the end, not only did he not listen, he even took to fighting. He's really too arrogant." Since Buckteeth and his men were in the streets often, how could they not get cut? If they didn't want to get cut, their reaction speeds had to be really fast. Buckteeth had been in the streets for so long, and he didn't really learn anything other than training his reaction speed into becoming extremely fast. A second ago, he was worried he would die, but now he rushed up in front of Long Hair and began presenting his charges against Qin Feng. Right, that brat had too many drinks and wanted to disrespect my female classmates. In the end, he began to fight. This person is too shameless. Su Xiaobai also reacted. He immediately went along with Big Brother Buckteeth's words and began to frame Qin Feng. After hearing the two men's stories, Longhair's face fell. If someone dared cause a ruckus on his land, they were clearly looking to die. He looked in the direction that the two pointed. Once his gaze fell on Qin Feng's face, his expression changed dramatically. He looked as terrified as someone who saw a ghost. He never would have thought that the shameless beast these people were talking about was actually boss young Master Qin. Qin Feng saw Longhair coming, and he smiled happily as he walked up to him. Buckteeth and Su Xiaobai pointed at Qin Feng with icy expressions and yelled, "Big brother Longhair, it's this brat. Look at how arrogant he is. He's even smiling. He clearly isn't taking you seriously. Big brother Longhair, you have to teach this brat a good lesson and let him know who exactly Acropolis's northern district belongs to." The two people directed the blame at Qin Feng in unison. At this time, Longhair was stunned. Him clean up young Master Qin? He wouldn't have the guts to do that if someone lent him 10 guts. The girls were badly frightened by Longhair's group who had suddenly burst in. These people were clearly very powerful. Their bodies exuded light gusts of evil, making the little girls who hadn't seen much of society shudder. Among them, the most nervous was Lu Xiaojia. She was worried that these people would bully Qin Feng when she saw the expression of the stalwart man with the long hair suddenly become fierce. He swung his thick arms and slapped ruthlessly. Slap. This slap employed all his strength, and it fell with an enormous sound. However, the slap fell on a surprising location. It didn't fall on Qin Feng's face. It fell accurately on Big Brother Buckteeth's head. After the slap fell, Longhair roared, "Fuck! You dare to yell at Boss Feng and frame him? See how this elder will beat you to death." Then, he lifted his arm and slapped Su Xiaobai in the face. Slap. Su Xiaobai was tall, thin, and weak. After getting slapped once by Longhair, he spun 3 times and stars filled his vision. "Big brother Longhair, did you hit the wrong people? The troublemaking brat is there." Buckteeth covered his head with an astonished expression. He still hadn't made sense of the situation. Longhair gave him another big slap in the face and yelled ferociously, "Wrong your ass. That is your boss Feng. How dare you call him a brat?" Longhair was angered to death by Buckteeth and Su Xiaobai. He was deeply frightened that these two would say more irreverent things about Qin Feng. At this time, he used both hands to slap simultaneously and didn't give them a sliver of a chance to open their mouths. Everyone else stared at the scene with so much shock that their eyeballs almost fell out. Even if they were dumber than they currently were, they'd still understand that this Qin Feng evidently had a powerful role. "Fuck, 2 little tramps. Since you came to the Fei Tian bar and looked for trouble with Boss Feng, it seems that you are tired of living. You 4, come here, drag these 2 outside, break their arms and legs, and throw them into the dumpsters out back." Longhair slapped Su Xiaobai and Buckteeth tens of times. He hit them until his own hands began to hurt. 4 of Longhair's men immediately ran over and dragged the 2 unconscious people outside. Su Xiaobai's 4 lackeys and Buckteeth's 4 lackeys were stunned. They were so frightened that they trembled from head to toe. They could only wah helplessly as their bosses were dragged away, and they had no opportunity to resist. "Big brother Feng, let's just let it go?" Lu Xiaojia suddenly ran to Qin Feng's side and looked fearfully at him. Since Su Xiaobai was her classmate, and she heard the big and strong Longhair state that they were going to break the 2 people's arms and legs, she felt that the punishment for them was too severe. Qin Feng waved his hand, and Longhair's men stopped immediately. His gaze swept over the room and finally fell on Su Xiaobai's 4 lackeys. He said indifferently, "I'll spare you all for Xiaojia's sake this time. In the future, don't bother Xiaojia again, and in particular, don't have intentions of hitting on her. For some things, even if they aren't said aloud, they'll still be known. If you dare have any unacceptable thoughts toward Xiaojia again, I'll personally come looking for you." Lu Xiaojia still didn't realize Su Xiaobai's plans for tonight, but Qin Feng had known what they were right from the beginning. However, He didn't explain the situation to Lu Xiaojia because it was too dirty and Qin Feng didn't want Lu Xiaojia to be exposed to the wickedness of the world too early. He wanted to intimidate Su Xiaobai and his people. Based on the fear on the faces of Su Xiaobai's lackeys, they were already shaken by Qin Feng. "Big brother, we won't do it again." The four people immediately swore to Qin Feng. "You all can scram." Qin Feng waved his hand and suddenly added, "Su Xiaobai reserved this room today. Longhair, go return the money. Tonight, I'll pay for the expenses of Lu Xiaojia's birthday party. Don't let these people taint her birthday." "Boss Feng, I'll take care of it." Qin Feng had spoken, and Longhair immediately went to carry it out. He brought everyone out of Qin Feng's private room. The previously crowded room was now left with only Qin Feng and 5 little beauties. Lu Xiaojia and her 4 classmates still hadn't recovered from their shock. They looked starry-eyed at Qin Feng, making him feel a bit embarrassed. "Ahem, let's drink." Qin Feng coughed twice awkwardly and raised his glass with a smile. The 5 girls quickly regained their senses and immediately lifted their glasses. Each of them tilted their heads back and drank down their cups of draft beer. "Big brother Feng, I only called you an uncle earlier as a joke. Don't get mad." After drinking the beer, Chun Mei Han looked nervously at Qin Feng. After the 5 girls discovered Qin Feng's background, they were all afraid of him. Even Fei Tian Bar's boss was extremely deferential toward Qin Feng, so Qin Feng was probably a gang leader. "Haha, I'm so young and handsome yet you actually dared to call me uncle. So tell me how I wouldn't be angry?" Qin Feng glared at Chen Mei Han and joked with her. Chen Mei Han treated it as truth and was quite afraid. Flustered, she said, "Big brother Feng, I was wrong and I won't do it next time. Let me off this once." When Qin Feng saw Chen Mei Han's nervous expression, he thought to himself that this little girl could really act. He said with a laugh, "I can let you off. You just have to sit here, let this big brother hug you, and give this big brother a kiss." Chen Mei Han instantly found herself in a bit of a difficult position. She lowered her head shyly and gave Lu Xiaojia a pleading glance. Lu Xiaojia then regained her senses. She harshly pinched him in the waist when she thought of how Qin Feng could say such vulgar things at first. "Big brother Feng, don't scare little Mei. She's my good friend." Lu Xiaojia pouted as she glared at Qin Feng with dissatisfaction. "Haha, I was just joking with little Mei. Don't be nervous. I'm not as scary as you think I am. I'm actually a kind and simple big boy." Qin Feng smiled. "I trust that you can all tell." After speaking, he saw 5 girls nodding in unison. Then, Qin Feng sang with the 5 girls in the private room. In the beginning, little Mei and the other 3 girls were a bit afraid of Qin Feng, but after playing with him, they found that Qin Feng really wasn't that frightening. The 5 girls all scrambled to sing, but Lu Xiaojia sang the most movingly. Every song made Qin Feng feel as though he was returning to the days of his youth. They all had lots of fun at this birthday party, and it didn't end until 11 o'clock at night. Qin Feng brought the 5 girls out of the Fei Tian bar. He even called on Longhair to bring the other 4 girls home safely. After exiting the bar, Qin Feng and Lu Xiaojia arrived beside the Batmobile. Once Qin Feng pressed on the Lamborghini's keys, little Mei and the other 3 girls shrieked so piercingly that it could pierce through eardrums. Just previously, they kept hearing Buck Teeth boast that he had a Batmobile parked at the entrance to the bar. They only understood now that Qin Feng had driven this supercar over tonight. Chapter 232. Chapter 232. Don't look for me in the future. Wow, this race car is too awesome. Awesome doesn't even begin to describe it. It's a universally unmade and amazing supercar. No, I want to lean on the car, take a couple of pictures, and send it to my friends. I also want to take pictures. I want to sit in the car and take pictures. After Lu Xiaojia's 4 classmates saw Qin Feng's Batmobile, they went completely insane. These little beauties were in 9th grade and were at the age where they were into trends. Even when they spoke, they did so with various exaggerations. Without waiting for Qin Feng to agree, They all rushed up to the Lamborghini, made various charming, sexy, pure, and cute poses, and began to take selfies like crazy. Qin Feng's lips quirked when he saw the scene. He thought to himself, were these girls really afraid of me earlier? The 5 girls took pictures for a good while before finally remembering Qin Feng, the car owner. Big brother Feng, come over and take a couple of pictures with us. Lu Xiaojia beckoned to Qin Feng and smilingly called him over. Qin Feng shook his head helplessly and walked up to the car. With the addition of Qin Feng, the 5 girls became even crazier. They stood in a row behind Qin Feng and made various strange poses. These girls were quite brave. They'd only known Qin Feng for a night, yet they had the guts to pose intimately with him. They hugged his neck, took his arm, and even leaned into his embrace while looking timid and cute. Qin Feng only had one feeling toward these girls' frivolous and irresponsible actions. He really liked them. Little May, you guys stand to the side. I want to take a picture with just me and Big Brother Feng. Lu Xiaojia suddenly took Qin Feng's arm and pushed the other 4 girls away. The 4 girls were extremely disgruntled and considered whether or not they wanted to cut ties with Lu Xiaojia tonight. Big Brother Feng, let's make a heart. Only Qin Feng and Lu Xiaojia remained in front of the Lamborghini. Lu Xiaojia lifted a soft arm and made half a heart shape by placing her hand on the top of her head. Qin Feng looked at Lu Xiaojia with unwillingness. After Lu Xiaojia acted cute 3 times, he raised his arm and formed the other half of the heart. The 2 of them had a bit of a height difference, so Qin Feng did a half squat and Lu Xiaojia stood on tiptoe. They stuck their faces close together. Lu Xiaojia held Qin Feng's arm, and Qin Feng casually hugged Lu Xiaojia's waist. With the scene of debauchery as their backdrop, it really was a beautiful image. Big Brother Feng, smile. Xiaojia is going to begin taking the picture. Lu Xiaojia's soft little hand raised her camera high, and she smiled very sweetly. Qin Feng smiled handsomely with a stalwart expression. He was even more photogenic on camera. When Lu Xiaojia saw it, she was a bit infatuated. Xiaojia, we're going first. Now you won't have to share your Big Brother Feng. You must be happy. Lu Xiaojia was about to take the picture when Chinmei Han and the other 3 girls waved at her and got into Longhair's Buick minivan. Lu Xiaojia spontaneously turned her head and planted a kiss on Qin Feng's face. Then, she pressed the icon to take the picture. Kacha. With a flash, the warm, lovey-dovey scene was captured and saved forever on Lu Xiaojia's cell phone. It wasn't Lu Xiaojia's first time kissing Qin Feng. She already gave in and kissed Qin Feng on the way over, but now that this kiss scene was captured in a picture and saved, the feeling was completely different. Lu Xiaojia only regained her senses a while after the picture was taken. She immediately extracted herself from Qin Feng's embrace, and her face was completely red. She lowered her head and dove into the front passenger seat of the car. Qin Feng touched his wet cheek, smiled slightly, and got into the car as well. He looked at Lu Xiaojia and said, Xiaojia, that picture didn't come out well at first. You turned your head a bit in the end. Shouldn't I also turn my head? Why don't we take the picture over again? Lu Xiaojia had turned her head to kiss Qin Feng's face. If Qin Feng turned his head as well, then they'd kiss each other on the lips. Big Brother Feng, in your dreams. Lu Xiaojia's clear and beautiful eyes were filled with mirth as she looked at Qin Feng and shook her fist. Acropolis City's night view wasn't bad. The roads were lit by amber streetlights on both sides. There were very few cars on the road, and the willows on the roadsides danced in the wind. Qin Feng lowered the roof of the Lamborghini and drove at top speed. They left car after car in the dust, and all one could hear was the sound of the wind. With a satisfied expression, Lu Xiaojia basked in the speed and excitement. She couldn't help but think of what Buckteeth said earlier, and her face turned completely red. Do you know why rich people love driving convertible sports cars? Because you can scream and shake the car at the same time. Now that's great. Little sister Xiaojia, you're already home safely. Who knew how long later, the car stopped at the entrance of a villa. Lu Xiaojia opened her eyes to find that she was already home. Along the way, She closed her eyes and enjoyed the speed and excitement as she recounted every detail of her 16 years of life. Ever since she was young, she and her older sister depended on one another, and she had even forgotten what her parents looked like. Though her older sister always gave her the best life, Lu Xiaojia still felt really lonely inside. She didn't have very many memories of her youth, and she had even fewer good memories, especially because she had too few good childhood memories. Every time she thought about the past, she worked harder to remember the few instances of happiness. Tonight, another happy memory was added to her lovely youth. This was an unforgettable birthday, an unforgettable night. Lu Xiaojia knew that she would remember tonight and remember Qin Feng for a lifetime. Big brother Feng, thank you for spending my birthday with me tonight. Little sister Xiaojia is really happy. I'm going to go home first, and when there's time, little sister Xiaojia will look for you again. Lu Xiaojia flashed Qin Feng a sweet smile. She had just opened the car door and prepared to get out when she suddenly thought of something and sat back down. She hugged Qin Feng's neck and kissed his cheek. Bye, big brother Qin Feng. After kissing Qin Feng, Lu Xiaojia lowered her charming blushing face and was about to get out of the car like a frightened rabbit. Qin Feng's expression changed slightly. He grabbed Lu Xiaojia's wrist. Big brother Feng, was there something else? Lu Xiaojia's frantic heart beat even more quickly after Qin Feng suddenly grabbed her arm. A good number of thoughts passed through her head at once, especially those that included Qin Feng suddenly pouncing on her and pressing her down. When these thoughts arose, Lu Xiaojia didn't hate them. She was merely nervous, afraid, and a bit expectant. However, when Lu Xiaojia lifted her head to peek at Qin Feng's cold and serious expression, she knew the possibility of that scenario was zero. Xiaojia, I'm usually really busy, so don't look for me in the future. Qin Feng suddenly spoke after holding Lu Xiaojia's hand quietly for a good while. Lu Xiaojia's wildly thrashing heart suddenly skipped a beat, then stopped, and a bad premonition stirred within her. Big brother Feng, little sister Xiaojia knows you're usually busy at work. I won't carelessly bother you. I'll wait until the weekends when we're both off to look for you. Lu Xiaojia did her best to control her emotions as she continued to smile sweetly at Qin Feng. Qin Feng sighed and said very seriously, Xiaojia, you're a smart girl and you know what I mean. In the future, study well and don't let down your older sister and waste the hard work she put into raising you. I also have my own life, so let's pretend we never met and will never meet again. What must come would inevitably come. As an adult, Qin Feng thought he ought to step up to say these hurtful words. It was true that he was a hedonistic young master, but Qin Feng had his limits. He never harmed underage girls. Every time he was dissolute and unruly, it was consensual. Beginning from tonight and his interactions with Lu Xiaojia, he could tell from the expressions she revealed that she had feelings for him. These feelings were very complicated. They were a bit like the dependency on a big brother mixed with the inexperienced ambiguity between lovers. Qin Feng knew that girls Lu Xiaojia's age were very susceptible to falling in love because they didn't yet understand it. They were inexperienced and kind. They were budding. They might like a person because of a smile or praise from that person. Love at this age was the most sincere, guilt-free, and simple. Qin Feng felt that he didn't deserve to have this kind of love. He didn't want to sully this purity, and most importantly, he didn't want to pollute Lu Xiaojia's most precious memories of inexperience. Thus, once Qin Feng discovered Lu Xiaojia had developed some feelings for him, he moved decisively. He had to end this fruitless emotion and kill it in the cradle. Splatter! A sparkling tear dripped down Lu Xiaojia's charming face and fell on Qin Feng's shoulder. Lu Xiaojia's soft and small pink hand grasped Qin Feng's shoulder and refused to let go. Xiaojia, hurry and go upstairs. I have to go home as well. Lu Xiaojia's reed expression made Qin Feng's heart ache. However, he clenched his teeth and flung Lu Xiaojia's little hand away. Big brother Feng, can we not even be friends? What did little sister Xiaojia do wrong? Tell me and I'll fix it for sure. The corners of Lu Xiaojia's eyes brimmed with tears as she raised her head and looked sadly at Qin Feng. She still hadn't regained her senses. Wasn't everything fine just now? Why did Big Brother Feng suddenly become so heartless? Nowadays in this society, 3 years is a generation gap, and I'm 6 years older than you. There are 2 of these chasms between us. Our lives are too different, so we shouldn't be friends. Qin Feng turned and didn't dare look into Lu Xiaojia's clear eyes. He said heartlessly, "Hurry and get out of the car. I have to go now." The atmosphere instantly turned cold. The inside of the car seemed to turn into ice. One could only hear Lu Xiaojia's heavy breathing and quiet sobs. "Big Brother Feng, I still have a pretty older sister. Why don't I introduce her to you?" Lu Xiaojia was quiet for a while, then suddenly lifted her head and looked up at the villa. She saw that the light was on and knew her older sister was home. "My older sister is home. I can take you upstairs and we can still be good friends in the future, right?" Lu Xiaojia extended her hand to grasp Qin Feng's arm again. She pouted and looked pitifully at Qin Feng. Qin Feng's expression changed. This was too enticing for Qin Feng because when he looked at Lu Xiaojia, he knew her sister had to be really beautiful. Qin Feng shoved Lu Xiaojia's little hand away once again and spoke solemnly, "Xiaojia, I have a girlfriend, and not just one. Go home." This time, Lu Xiaojia's heart fell completely into the depths of the valley. An empty wave of despair and disappointment arose within her. A while later, Lu Xiaojia suddenly spoke, "Big Brother Qin Feng, I'm leaving." She didn't look at Qin Feng again. She opened the car door and exited the vehicle. Qin Feng was in no hurry to go home. He sat in the car and weighed Lu Xiaojia's back. Her slender figure, white dress shirt, florid and checkered short skirt, and slender legs clad in rainbow cotton socks were filled with youthfulness and piqued Qin Feng's interest. The voice-controlled lights at the bottom of the villa elongated Lu Xiaojia's shadow and made it really long. Her lowered head and her shaking shoulders showed that she was clearly still crying. The tens of steps seemed to last a century. In the end, she disappeared into the building. It was over. This chance encounter arrived thrillingly and left satisfactorily and happily. It would become a beautiful and unforgettable memory in Qin Feng's life that he would inadvertently think of occasionally in the future, and his lips would curve brilliantly. That was already really good. By Little Sister Xiaojia. By Big Brother Qin Feng. Chapter 233. Chapter 233, A Lifetime with Big Sister. Lu Xiaojia returned to the villa but didn't go upstairs. Once she entered, she squatted by the doorway and wept bitterly. At the bottom of her heart, she was a bit angry at Qin Feng. She was angry that Big Brother Feng changed so many times, angry at how unfeeling he was. Up until now, Lu Xiaojia still couldn't understand why Qin Feng rejected her. She admitted to herself that she developed some romantic feelings toward Qin Feng, and she knew that Qin Feng chose not to see her again because he didn't want to hurt her. However, Lu Xiaojia thought these things didn't form any sort of conflict because she trusted Qin Feng, thought well of Qin Feng, and liked Qin Feng. Was she doomed to be with people like Su Xiaobai in order to possess beautiful memories and pure feelings? Love defies age, and pure and guilt-free emotions in particular cannot be defined by age. "Xiaojia, are you home? Why are you crying?" A woman in the villa suddenly came downstairs. She wore a white muslin nightgown, completely exhibiting her curtained, slender figure. The bottom of the skirt covered the tops of her thighs, revealing a pair of slender, fair, and jade-like legs. The woman's hair was twisted casually at the back of her head, revealing her beautiful, refined, and charming face. She had a high-nose bridge and large eyes, and her attractive eyebrows were furrowed. She quickly ran downstairs, bearing her soft and fair feet. She then arrived beside Lu Xiaojia. "Big sister, Hua?" After seeing her big sister come downstairs, Lu Xiaojia instantly threw herself into her sister's embrace and released all the grievances that filled her heart. She cried incessantly. Her sad and inconsolable expression broke her older sister's heart. The two sisters had depended on one another from an early age. At this time, they were locked in a tight embrace, and the scene was very moving. The two sisters didn't look very similar, but they were both as beautiful as fairies. If Qin Feng had been there, he would have been stunned by Lu Xiaojia's older sister's looks. This wouldn't be solely because she was too beautiful, but because he knew her. She was Lu Wenjing, whom he'd been looking for recently. Xiaojia, don't cry. Tell your big sister. What happened? Lu Wenjing hugged her little sister tightly and had a look of worry as she brushed away Lu Xiaojia's tears. Has someone bullied you? Your big sister will help you take care of those bad people. Lu Xiaojia cried in Lu Wenjing's embrace for a good while. Then, her emotions slowly stabilized and she lifted her head to look at her older sister. Big sister, I am fine now. Fine? How can you be fine? Your older sister hasn't even seen you cry all these years, and you cried so intensely today, so something big must have happened. Hurry and tell me, or else I'll be worried to death. Lu Wenjing knew her younger sister was really strong. In order not to worry her, her younger sister kept everything to herself even if she suffered injustices. This time, once her little sister came home, she wailed. So Lu Wenjing was very frightened. Big sis, it's really nothing. After Lu Xiaojia stabilized her emotions, she suddenly realized that she couldn't tell her big sister about Qin Feng. If her big sister knew she had puppy love, she'd whip her to death. I'm 16 today, and I'm another year older. Once I thought about this, I became so sad that I began to cry. Lu Xiaojia turned her black eyes and smiled at her big sister. Pfft. Lu Wenjing was tickled pink by her little sister. She covered her mouth and scolded her while laughing. You stinking brat. You're only 16 and your big sister is 21. Look at how you're crying. If that's the case, won't your big sister have to hang herself? Big sis, don't say that. Xiaojia doesn't want you to die. I want you to stay by my side forever. Lu Xiaojia suddenly hugged her older sister and spoke to her earnestly while looking at her. A surge of warmth arose in Lu Wenjing's heart. She caressed Lu Xiaojia's beautiful hair and smiled as she said, Okay, big sister promises not to say things like that again. However, big sister can't stay with you forever. When you grow up, you're sure to have someone you like. At the time, you'll get married and form a family and big sister won't be able to look after you. Lu Xiaojia pouted unhappily and shook Lu Wenjing's shoulders and acted cute. I just want to be with big sister forever. Then you're not getting married in the future? Lu Wenjing said to her little sister, smiling. Lu Xiaojia pursed her lips and thought for a while. Then, she suddenly smiled. I'll marry the same man as big sister? Bullshit. This response shocked Lu Wenjing, and she immediately and fiercely lectured her little sister. Xiaojia, you're still young and big sister won't blame you for not understanding things about romance, but don't ever say something like that again. If someone else heard it, they'd think you've gone crazy. Lu Xiaojia nodded but felt wronged. She didn't see what was wrong with marrying the same man as her sister. That way, she could always be with her big sister. So wasn't that great? Xiaojia, since today's your birthday, big sister won't comment on your coming house so late. But you can't do this in the future, you hear? I know. Don't worry about me, big sister. Xiaojia is very obedient. Lu Xiaojia took Lu Wenjing's arm, and the two of them walked upstairs together. Lu Wenjing naturally knew her obedient younger sister well. She patted her sister's head with satisfaction. Her expression suddenly changed drastically because she faintly smelled the scent of a man on her younger sister. And this man's scent seemed a bit familiar. Xiaojia, who did you go out with tonight? Were there boys? Did they do anything to you? Lu Wenjing took Lu Xiaojia to Lu Wenjing's room and shot a good number of questions right after entering the room. Lu Xiaojia's expression was clearly frantic, and she didn't dare meet Lu Wenjing's eyes. Just some classmates. Chen Meihan and the other 3 girls, and Su Xiaobai and a couple of other boys. Big sister, you know all of them. I wouldn't do anything crazy. Lu Wenjing still wasn't very reassured. She neared Lu Xiaojia's body and sniffed closely. The light, manly smell became stronger, and Lu Wenjing was certain she smelled it before. But where? She couldn't remember that instant. Xiao Jia, this clearly isn't the smell of a middle school boy. It should be the smell of an adult man. Lu Wenjing stared severely at Lu Xiaojia and asked, "Who were you with tonight? You smell like alcohol as well. You've been following bad examples more and more." Lu Xiaojia stared at her older sister in astonishment. She thought her older sister was too amazing, being able to determine if the scent was of someone underage or an adult just by sniffing casually. Big sister clearly had the nose of a dog. "Big sis, I wanted the Fei Tian bar to celebrate my birthday with classmates. Maybe because the bar was chaotic, someone else's scent rubbed off on me. But I can assure you, big sis, that I really didn't act recklessly. I'm a very self-respecting woman." Lu Xiaojia realized she couldn't hide the truth, so she told half the truth. Lu Wenjing stared at her sister for a long while. Based on her earnest expression, it didn't look like she was lying. In the end, Lu Wenjing sighed and touched Lu Xiaojia's head. She spoke lovingly. "Okay, take off your clothes and big sis will wash them for you. Go take a bath first. In the future, you're not allowed to go to bars. This is your birthday present for me. Usually, big sis isn't home, and you have to be more aware. Only take it out and play with it after you've completed your assignments." Lu Wenjing took out an exquisite box and extended it to Lu Xiaojia. Lu Xiaojia immediately opened it to find an iPad. She was so happy that she gesticulated with joy. "Big sis, then I'm going to shower. After I shower, I'm going to play some games before going to sleep." Lu Xiaojia removed her clothes in front of Lu Wenjing. Her fair, rosy skin made Lu Wenjing jealous. "That's right, Xiaojia. Why can't I see your WeChat status?" Lu Wenjing suddenly asked. Other than attending college, she spent the rest of her time working and making money to pay for her younger sister's aristocratic school tuition and their residence. Thus, she had very little time to spend with her younger sister. Lu Wenjing wanted to use her younger sister's status updates on WeChat to understand her. However, she found that after adding her sister as a friend for a couple of months, this girl hadn't even posted one status. In the end, Lu Wenjing realized that this girl must have blocked her. I don't know. Lu Xiaojia had indeed blocked Lu Wenjing mainly because she didn't want her older sister to see her how she was usually feeling. And now that her status had a picture of her with Big Brother phone, she definitely couldn't let her older sister see it. "Did you block me? Have you met some sort of stranger on WeChat, you little brat?" Lu Wenjing asked worriedly. "Don't worry about me, big sis. I'm 16 already and I've grown up. I know how to take care of myself," Lu Xiaojia complained. Lu Wenjing shook her head. Her sister had indeed grown up, and she should have her own privacy. Lu Wenjing didn't pursue the issue. She took the clothes her little sister removed and went to wash them by hand. She washed the clothes while furrowing her attractive eyebrows. The face of a man she hated suddenly floated into her mind. When she thought of Qin Feng, Lu Wenjing angrily gritted her teeth. This man was too brazen. He'd used her, and now the one group was completely demolished, and Lu Wenjing's plans were similarly thrown into a mess. These past couple of days, she'd been looking crazily for part-time employment because the villa's rent was due soon, and she also had to get her younger sister's tuition for the next semester in order. These two were large expenses, and Lu Wenjing's brain was about to explode. "Big sis, I'm done showering. Let's play a game together." Finished showering, Lu Xiaojia climbed into bed, wearing a white bathrobe. Lu Wenjing shook her head and shoved away all the worries that plagued her. When she saw her little sister's happy smile, the feeling in her heart was as sweet as could be. Even if she had to suffer more, she would agree to it. "Come here, Xiaojia. Dry your hair before playing." Lu Wenjing held the hairdryer and helped Lu Xiaojia dry her hair. Lu Xiaojia lay on her older sister's thighs. She played with her older sister's hair while looking at her and saying, "Big sis, you're so beautiful. Whoever marries you in the future must have luck cultivated by 8 generations." Lu Wenjing was very happy when she heard her younger sister's compliment. She smiled and said, "How is big sis beautiful? When you grow up, You're sure to be more beautiful than me. Lu Xiaojia smiled. Her gaze fell on Lu Wenjing's full chest. Then, she peeked at her own underdeveloped chest and sighed with disappointment. AI, Big Sister's chest is really big. Whoever sees it is sure to die from feeling inferior. Lu Wenjing poked her little sister's head and lectured while laughing. You darn brat, how old are you? And you're thinking of these things? Study well right now. Big Sis makes you papaya juice to drink every morning. So when you go to high school and begin maturing, yours are sure to be bigger than Big Sister's. Once Lu Xiaojia heard that hers could be bigger than her sister's, she suddenly extended her small, soft hand and touched her sister's chest. She discovered that her small hand couldn't even grasp half of her sister's chest. Lu Wenjing was caught off guard. She suddenly cried out when her chest was squeezed. Lu Xiaojia was slightly shocked and she smiled evilly. Big sis, what's up with you? Don't tell me you're in heat? Lu Wenjing's charming face turned completely red from embarrassment. She unhappily smacked her little sister's perky behind. You're in heat. Why are you touching just anything? If you want to touch your own. Mine are too small. I want to touch Big Sister's. As Lu Xiaojia spoke, she touched Lu Wenjing's chest again. A strange feeling arose in Lu Wenjing when her little sister squeezed her. She threw down the hairdryer with a huff, pushed Lu Xiaojia onto the bed, and began to attack her small chest. The two girls rolled around on the bed, and after being crazy for a good while, they finally stopped. They lay on their backs, panting on the bed. Big sis, do you have a boyfriend? Lu Xiaojia suddenly asked. No, Lu Wenjing resolutely replied. Want Xiaojia to introduce someone that's rich, handsome, and a very good person to you? Lu Xiaojia suddenly became excited and wanted to introduce Qin Feng to her older sister. If Qin Feng was with her sister, then she could see Qin Feng in the future. Big sis doesn't need a boyfriend right now. Wait until you're in college, Lu Wenjing answered firmly. It wasn't that she didn't want to date. She had no time to date and no energy to date. She had to take good care of her younger sister first and get her through college before thinking about things like that for herself. Chapter 234. Chapter 234, Frightful people aren't actually that frightening. Royal Group, Sales Department Lobby. Qin Feng was in the middle of cleaning up his original desk. He carried a stack of files and walked toward Wang Chao's office. During the monthly performance meeting 2 days ago, Qin Feng had been appointed as the new leader of Group 2 in the sales department. Now, Wang Chao's office was his. And Wang Chao, who used to sit in the office, was relocated to the sales department lobby where he sat as equals with the normal sales representatives. Qin Feng, I'll put these reports on your desk so when you need them, they'll be right at hand. Su Ruoro helped Qin Feng move his things. At this time, she placed a large stack of documents neatly on the desk. The two busied themselves for a while. When they were almost done moving everything, Su Ruoro was so tired she was panting and wiping her sweat with the back of her hand. Qin Feng could hardly care where the files were placed because he wasn't going to look through them. At this time, his gaze was pinned to Su Ruoro's body. When he saw Su Ruoro's full chest rising and falling with her breaths and seeming as though they would burst out of her white dress shirt at any time, Qin Feng instantly pounced on her and pulled her onto his lap. Ah, Qin Feng, what are you doing? This is the office. Hurry and let go of me. Su Ruoro jumped in shock at Qin Feng's actions and immediately attempted to struggle free. However, Qin Feng was too strong. After struggling for a while, she found herself still in his embrace. Ruoro, I'm the group leader of Group 2, so I'm your superior. Qin Feng pulled out a tissue and carefully wiped Su Ruoro's sweat while smiling. You know that workplaces all have unspoken rules, especially large companies on the stock market like Royal Group. The unspoken rules are common. If you want to do well in the company, you have to curry favor with your superiors. If I want to hug you right now, how can you resist? You should obediently lie in my embrace and act cute. After hearing Qin Feng's fallacious reasoning, Su Ruorou's face darkened. When Wang Chao was group leader, she experienced being oppressed, and there were a couple of times where Wang Chao almost violated her. Now that Qin Feng had beaten down Wang Chao and become the group leader, she thought her good days were coming. She suddenly realized that this was just the beginning of another nightmare. However, when Wang Chao wanted to take advantage of Su Ruorou, she was swept with disgust. When Qin Feng took advantage of her, she didn't feel that way. She was more worried that it would be bad if co-workers saw their behavior. Qin Feng, hurry and let go. If someone comes in later, it'll be trouble. Su Ruorou knew she couldn't break out of Qin Feng's hold, so she could only look at him angrily. Qin Feng touched Su Ruorou's head and released her with a smile. Then, he stood and pulled Su Ruorou to sit on his seat. This office is indeed better than outside. It's quiet, and I won't get disturbed when sleeping or playing games. However, my heart is a bit empty because I won't sit facing you during work. Qin Feng sat on the table and looked at Su Ruorou with a smile. Su Ruorou's charming face blushed slightly. In reality, she was a bit disappointed when she thought of how she wouldn't be able to see Qin Feng during work after he moved away. However, Su Ruorou was more proud and happy that Qin Feng was promoted to the group leader position. Qin Feng, your promotion is a good thing. Congratulations. It proves that Chairman Qin and Assistant Han think highly of you. Don't disappoint them. In the future, you can't sleep or play games at work. You have to do your work well. Su Ruorou began to lecture Qin Feng. Those two requests are a bit difficult. I'd need someone supervising me at all times. Qin Feng nodded solemnly and said, how about this? Stay in my office in the future, Ruorou, and supervise me. Once Su Ruorou heard Qin Feng's words, she understood his intentions. If Qin Feng really was looking for someone to supervise him, that would be great. However, there was an 80% chance he was wanting to trick her into coming into his office so he could take advantage of her. I don't want to. I still have my own things to take care of. I'm heading out now. Su Ruorou stood with a smile, wanting to leave. Qin Feng embraced her and pressed her back into the chair. He said earnestly, Ruorou, I'm serious. Sit and work here from now on. Do whatever you want, and don't work yourself too hard. I'm the group leader now and I have a lot of excellent clients and resources, so I can just give them all to you. Qin Feng was in earnest. He wanted to let Su Ruorou be more relaxed and let her be happy going to work every day. Su Ruorou got a bit choked up, and a warmth surged through her heart. She knew that although Qin Feng always seemed careless and hedonistic, he was someone that truly took the effort to care for and think of her. Qin, group leader Qin. At this time, Wang Chao suddenly walked in. He'd now gone from being group leader to vice group leader, and he wasn't quite used to it yet. He was about to call Qin Feng's name before cawing and correcting himself halfway. Once Su Ruorou saw Wang Chao enter, she jumped in shock and immediately stood up, getting off the seat she was sitting on. She was still a bit afraid of Wang Chao. After all, he was still a vice group leader. It would definitely be bad if word went around that she was sitting in Qin Feng's seat. Qin Feng saw Su Ruorou's alarmed expression and smilingly pressed her back down. He kept a hand on her shoulder and didn't move it away. Then, he looked indifferently at Wang Chao and said, Little Wang, why are you in such a hurry? And don't you know how to knock before coming in? You can't do this. Days before, Wang Chao had still been Qin Feng's superior and could command Qin Feng and Su Ruorou as he wished. Today, he became Qin Feng's subordinate, and when facing Qin Feng, he had to nod and bow. This feeling was like an instantaneous fall from heaven to hell. Wang Chao was extremely unhappy, but no matter how unhappy he was, he could only suppress his anger and keep it tightly sealed in his heart. Sorry, I was too rude and impetuous. Wang Chao forced a smile on his face as he spoke with Qin Feng. This scene put Su Ruorou in a bit of a daze. She knew Qin Feng was already the group leader, but she didn't feel the power and benefits of his being a group leader yet. Now, Seeing the previously extremely arrogant group leader Wang Chao as a sycophant trying to curry favor, Su Ruoro could feel the power and prestige personally. All right, today's my first day at work after getting promoted, so I won't hold it against you. Go out and knock on the door. Wait for me to call you before you enter. Qin Feng waved his hand, and Wang Chao withdrew while gritting his teeth. After exiting, Wang Chao knocked on the door lightly, then smiled joyfully and said, "Qin, Group Leader Qin, can I come in?" "Come in," said Qin Feng as he cleared his throat. Wang Chao put on a convincing vice leader act. Su Ruoro couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh. "Group Leader Qin, these are the most recent assignments I've been working on, and I've brought them to hand over to you. If you don't understand anything, feel free to ask me." Wang Chao placed a stack of files on the table. He came to submit his work this time. Qin Feng casually shoved the files to the ground. He said, "Little Wang, go pour me a cup of water." Qin Feng still remembered his first day working in the sales department when Wang Chao made things difficult for him and made him pour water. Now, after a month, it was finally his turn to command Wang Chao to pour him water. Coldness flashed across Wang Chao's face. He hesitated for a while, then quickly ran to pour a cup of water. He returned and said, "Group Leader Qin, your water." Qin Feng looked at the cup of water on the table and suddenly lifted his hand and slammed it on the table, causing the cup to overturn. The water inside splashed all over Wang Chao. "Little Wang, you really have no sense." "Don't you see that Ruoro is sitting here as well? By pouring one cup of water, do you mean for me or Ruoro to drink it?" A cup of water splashed him, and it was freshly boiled hot water. The water burned Wang Chao, and he hopped about in pain. "Group Leader Qin, my bad, my bad. I'll pour a cup of water for you both right this instant." Though he was brimming with anger, Wang Chao didn't dare express his emotions. He also couldn't worry about his wet dress shirt that stuck to his body. He immediately ran to pour 2 cups of water. He looked at Qin Feng and Su Ruoro and said, "Group Leader Qin, the water you requested." "Beauty Ruoro, I'm really sorry I forgot about you at first. Please, don't take it to heart." At this time Su Ruoro thought she was dreaming. She never thought the day would come where Wang Chao would pour water for her with servility. Though Qin Feng was intentionally making things difficult for Wang Chao, Su Ruoro didn't empathize with him at all. Once Su Ruoro thought about the 2 times Wang Chao almost violated her, her stomach was filled with fire. Before meeting Qin Feng, her personality was extremely weak, and she wouldn't hold grudges. However, during this time she'd been undergoing Qin Feng's training and persistent instruction, Su Ruoro had actually changed a lot. She was no longer that weak of a young lady. She could now yell at that jerk Wang Chao to his face. The last time Wang Chao almost violated her, she learned to fight back. She finally began to agree with one of Qin Feng's viewpoints. When dealing with someone as terrible as Wang Chao, one had to control evil with evil. The more you feared him and the more you gave in, the more he bullied you. This type of person would only put away his crooked thoughts if you suppressed him and made him completely afraid of you. "Okay, if there's nothing else, then leave. Don't stand there as an eyesore." Qin Feng waved his arms and shooed Wang Chao away. The instant Wang Chao turned, his whole face darkened. He'd already decided that in the future, unless it was an absolute emergency, he would not go to Qin Feng's office so casually, because if he did, he'd just be looking to be oppressed. "Ruoro, how does it feel?" Once Wang Chao left, Qin Feng's expression became serious. He had no intention of intentionally making things difficult for someone like Wang Chao because that was a complete waste of his great youth. Qin Feng did this as an example for Su Ruoro. This was also considered a way to teach Su Ruoro. He wanted to let her know that the people you considered frightening and formidable wouldn't always stand on your head, pressing you down. Maybe a day would suddenly come when you discover that they weren't much and they had to treat you with extreme deference. "I feel really great. I know why you did that, and it taught me a lot. Thank you, Qin Feng." Su Ruoro was intelligent and quick-witted. She instantly understood Qin Feng's intentions. Thank yous are obligatory, But just thinking through speech doesn't express enough sincerity, Qin Feng said as he looked at Su Ruoro with a smile. A shiver ran down Su Ruoro's spine, and she felt as though her body was going to be in danger again. Teach then, what kind of reward do you want? Su Ruoro shrank back and looked at Qin Feng with alarm. The more she exhibited this weakness and pitifulness, the more she incited the wildness in Qin Feng's heart. What do you say? I want to eat you up in the office. Qin Feng laughed evilly and pounced on Su Ruoro. Su Ruoro didn't have enough time to dodge, and she was swept into Qin Feng's embrace. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.